one. And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
And there we go. Good afternoon. No. Good morning, everybody. Bloody hate Sky and these early kickoffs. I'm up at 6 doing the radio show till 10. I've got an hour to get all the artwork ready for the show. And then I say I have to then wait till 11 to do all the team news. And I am absolutely fucking knackered. Tom, I'm pretty much sure you're the same.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, these early starts get to you after a while. I only just had a bacon sandwich. I'm like, I've got to be on air in a minute. Yeah, so thank you very much, Sky, anyway. But hello, everyone in the chat. Hope you're all doing well.
Yeah, bacon sandwich is a bacon sandwich more than I've had. And I just realised my microphone's not even in place. This is how unorganised I am today. Clibo's in. He's saying it's a big one. Well, thank you very much, Clibo. I appreciate the compliment. I did tell you to keep it to yourself. Gray is in. Morning, geezers. Simon is in. Hello, sir. Living in Norfolk makes this a must-win game for me. Well, we've done it once this season. Different times, though. Andreas is in. Gray is in. And Nate's in. Hello, 4:30 a.m. Well, I have to say that coming... Well, let's look at the game first of all. It is Norwich. It's a 12:30 kickoff, so it is going to be on the old TV, but you don't want to watch that. You want to come and watch us here. Of course, it is the King Power, home to Norwich, who, very quickly, they're a different beast to the Norwich we met last time, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, mate. Yeah, if you think how their season started the same way ours has really been, didn't it? They got off to a really bad start. He's cracking one open. It's not even 12 o'clock, Chris.
I'm glad you said open then and not off.
No. Oh, yeah. We've got to watch where your hands go, my friend, when they go below the camera, don't we? But cheers, everyone. Yeah, I'm on the soft drinks. It's not quite there yet. But yeah, it's a massive one today. Gary Rowett's first home game, obviously, since he's come into the club. But yeah, Norwich had a difficult start like us, Chris, didn't they? They've gone through the process, replaced the manager with a similar 4-2-3-1 system with two different managers as well, like we have. So it's interesting how we've kind of paralleled each other, but they're a bit further down the line where we are at this moment, right?
Yeah, no, indeed they are. I've got to say, welcome to anybody that's joining us from another channel today. I know not every channel is covering this as a watch-along today because a lot of them are down with the protest. I don't want to go on too long about this because we did discuss it last night. To me, I asked this in the chat the other day, do you support the Unite for Change Leicester City protest? And I have to say, yesterday, the yeses were leading, but as I've just ended it now, as I've checked, the noes have it.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?
The yeses to the left. Oh, sorry, I was thinking of it in Parliament then. The noes have it. Look, for me, I'm very much on the same page as Clibo is here. It's the wrong time, because we need to be getting behind the team now. As Clibo points out, there's going to be a few bevies had I'm sure, on the walk down. So when they get into there, into the stadium, what they're going to be like, God only knows. But I mean, I can't even see it. Where is it? Has it started? Hasn't it started? What is this protest? I mean, guys, don't turn up for a match at one point when it's on, maybe when it's on Sky. Yeah, the protest is futile, Gray, but I respect people's decision in wanting to do that. This is why we live in a free society. I mean, you may not think so when you look at people defacing Winston Churchill's statue, but apparently, when in Rome, you don't do what the Italians do. We need to sort of start clamping down on these. Whatever your politics point is, when you're in somebody else's country, respect the fact that we're putting you up and probably paying half of their most of their weekly bills and unemployment benefit. Anyway, don't start me on that. Don't start me on that. So I do, but I think, like, for example, today, I don't think today is the day because it's the first home game, but on another home game when it's on Sky, don't turn up. If everybody on that far side behind the dugouts didn't turn up, how would that look like on the TV?
Yeah, and that's something the club doesn't like, does it, Chris? Because they've noticed before that's when a lot of changes happen, definitely. Hey, look, the good thing about this is it has been very much set boundaries with this protest. There's going to be a protest outside leading from F-Bar, going up Walnut Street to the ground, outside the club shop protest. In the stadium, they said they're going to back the boys, which is actually a big part of this, So look, I'm not against it because I look at it this way. I do feel the relationship between the board and the fans is pretty untenable now because of not just one thing, over 20s or 30s of things that have gone wrong from the football club, and that lack of accountability. I think that has come wrong from the club, and that makes the relationship very difficult.
And they still haven't officially said that we're protesting the appealing the points deduction. We only know that because the FA told us. That is how shite our club is. We love it, but I'm afraid it is shite at the moment. Also, the other thing they could do, which is what Burnley did years ago when I lived in Burnley, and they were having this protest against their owners. They turned up for the game, they all went in, and then spent the first 15 minutes with their back turned on the pitch.
Yeah.
This was before seats, obviously, but, again, that was a powerful message. And I laughed at the time, but thinking about it, they said, well, we're still supporting our club, because we paid to go in and watch them, but they're going to know how we feel. We're not going to watch them for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. And there's other things you could do, like putting aeroplanes over the stadium and things like this. There's many ways you can do it, Chris. I mean, the ultimate point behind it is these things wouldn't happen if the relationship between the fans and the board was in a better place, right? And I put that on the football club. I don't think that's on the supporters. I think the supporters have every right to behave how they want to behave, really, in this circumstance. Now, I think there's been enough ammunition, as I've said, been put into weapons in order to bring us to this situation. And I just wish the club wouldn't hunker down more like it has. You talk about how they've not mentioned the points deduction, right? That's another sign of them closing down the shutters on, the office door and saying we're not talking to anyone. It should be the opposite now. They should be more open with the fans if they want to restore clarity.
Well, promised that. He promised that in his, in his speech, didn't he? But I mean, whatever comes out of Top's mouth is a load of BS. That's,
And I think that reaction's led to them hunkering down and saying less, ironically, hasn't it?
Yes. But when they say that they're going to reconnect with the fans, do it.
Yeah, agreed.
Right. I've got to say, are you ready for the United Nations post-match?
Yes, I am, Chris. I've seen what's coming. I'm excited.
Yeah. And look, it's no secret. BTG, Blue Tinted Lasses, aren't doing a watch along today because all their guys are down at the doing the walk. And like I say, respect to them. They are entitled to do that if that's what they feel. I'm totally nothing against that. Luke didn't fancy doing the watch along on his own. He messaged me, said, can I come and join you? And of course, it's always great to have the Angry Aussie in, which is his nickname, of course. You got Crocodile Luke to the return because he is returning to where it all started for him. But it's going to be great to have him back. And I hope him and his good lady Steph are both well down there in Perth, Australia. So we've got either sides of the world really. We're going to have Jim from America and Luke from uh, Australia. I'm from Perth, and I'm not from Perth. I'm from Poole. You're from Devon. I mean, we're all over. It'd be nice to get somebody in from Leicester. Oh, we got Wayne, haven't we? We've got Wayne.
We do indeed, mate. We're lucky though. I mean, that's the way the football club is. We're lucky to have such a worldwide fan base who really care about the football club and want to speak about it. And Luke's really good for it. I look forward to seeing him.
Yes, he is. He said he's a different man now, but we'll see. I still think he'll be an angry Aussie.
He should
Oh
be
my
whoever
God!
he should be.
Yeah, you talk about him, and Andreas is in Cyprus. There you go, all over the world. Oh, you talk about Jim, and as if by magic, in he pops.
He does. I love it. Hey, Jim, how you doing, bud? Good to see you, mate.
Good God, you know. But no, it is nice to see you.
Nice.
Thank you.
I am more awake than I thought.
Yes. Don't mention the war. I mentioned it once on the radio this morning, and I think I got away with it. Look, those are the matches today. Bristol City lost 1-2 to Watford last night. We need Derby to beat Blackburn.
Yeah.
We need us to beat Norwich. That goes without saying. We need Portsmouth to lose to Hull. We could do with Charlton. You could argue they're out of it. Charlton to lose to Stoke. To Wrexham, sorry.
Yeah.
Stoke, I think, are pretty much safe, to be honest with you. Ipswich Swansea doesn't affect us. We'll come back to the other game in a second. But Preston, Millwall, QPR, Sheffield United. Yeah. Sheffield Wednesday are down anyway. Birmingham, Man City don't really affect us at all. Oxford, West Brom. Wow.
Big game.
Huge game. What do you think would be the best result for us on that?
I think actually it probably would be an Oxford win, Chris. And the reason why is because I think Oxford are less likely, looking like they haven't really progressed since Rowett's departed. They kind of stayed the same, haven't they? I don't see them picking up points from teams near the top of the league that easily, apart from the occasional one. But I think a win today against West Brom keeps them right there with us, and hopefully we'll put them in the bottom three if we get our job done today.
A point would do that as well. Do you not think a draw could work out best for us?
A draw will work out fine as well, but you've got to think of the mileage on this. I think West Brom, of course, are about to enter a period where a new manager will probably come in the door as well. And hopefully for us, it won't be a good appointment like the last one they made. But if it is a good appointment, they could go on a run here. So I think it's better for us to probably have Oxford lose that today. But it is a big day for the bottom places today because we got to win to drag the clubs like Blackburn, Portsmouth, Charlton, and maybe even Norwich back into this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just looking at the games we've got coming up. I mean, obviously we've got Norwich today. Then we're away. Where are we? We've got Ipswich, Bristol City, QPR, Watford. Those games, and Preston don't really have much of an impact. Sheffield Wednesday, I just think we're going to lose that one because that's the sort of typical Leicester thing to do. Swansea doesn't really matter. Portsmouth, it matters, but not in that say. Portsmouth is an important one. Hull's not really mattering. Millwall, and then obviously Blackburn on the last day. So 3 games there against our rivals. But a win, as Clibbo said right at the start, it is a big one today, and we do need to get that win. Oops, daisy. I don't know why I left that up, to be honest with you, because that was last week. But here's the lineup. I mean, there are no surprises, I guess, really, is there?
No, and I think there's only really been one major change there, hasn't there, with Mavadili dropping to the bench. I think now you are in a point where actually a bit of stability, especially in the back four, is probably the right way to go. I mean, we could have chucked the cells back in there for one, couldn't we? But I think maybe having a stable back four now. And last time out, really, apart from the brain dead moment, unfortunately, with Coley, who had taken a knock to the head as well, which might explain it. I think they actually did a pretty good job. There were a lot more improvements there, weren't there, with Ricardo and Thomas in particular at the fullback position. So yeah, I think that back four to start with that. I think we need a bit of stability there now to try and get this clean sheet we so desire.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I know I was speaking last night. I did the preview show with Clibbo and Reese, and they both put themselves in that back line. But there is a lot to be said because they had a Luco at right back, then Lascelles, and then Nelson and Thomas on the other side. But there is a lot to be said, like you say, for having. I mean, I think the fact that the back four are the four that need to remain constant more than anywhere else on the pitch.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the thing is, I think for a Luco, like I said this every week now, haven't I, Chris? Like we should have bled him in a bit more earlier than now. Now is like really the time that you're going to need that, probably a little bit more experience as well. And now Ricardo's looking a bit more solid in the last game. I think it's not the time to chuck him in now. We've missed that boat. It's kind of already sailed, right? He can come in as a bit part player and add a bit of energy, absolutely. And the problem I got with the Cells is I think he unfortunately doesn't seem to be reliable enough on the injury front. So if we were to create a back two where he was going to be a main part of that, if he goes down with an injury again, which seems to be, borderline, it can happen at any moment, a bit like Christensen when he came back, then I think we've got a problem with keeping that stability, right? And so, yeah, I'm happy with this back four. It's the one I probably would have picked today.
So Mr. Ricardo, who apparently couldn't play 2 games in a week, is playing 3.
Yeah, it's interesting because he made a comment in the press conference about how he might have to bribe the medical staff about certain things. It does make me wonder if the medical staff are slightly cautious in their approach here, maybe because of the injuries we've had faced. But it just shows you that there might be a bit of disparity there between the coaching and the medical side of it, which is actually a red flag and a bit of a problem, right? They need to get more together on what their thoughts and, are about player fitness.
Yeah. Gray said, because he said he was concerned about Rowett's press conference, and that was because he said he can't do anything about the goals we're conceding.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think I might be taken slightly out of context. I mean, ultimately, if we are going to concede a goal, the only way you're going to do it is by outscoring a team, isn't there? There is that balance to football, isn't there? I think it's very important we do try and get a clean sheet. I think there's a mental clarity that can come from that. But I think he was saying there, you can't really just make that the be all and end all. It's about getting 3 points.
Yeah. Got some talent on the bench, says Jim. Interestingly, Richard has been dropped.
Yeah, that is interesting. It must be a training thing where they're not seeing enough of him, to think he's worth going in.
Well, what did they say here? Gray and Richards drop out of the squad as Rowett has more senior options to pick from.
Yeah.
So why the fuck did we loan Richards?
Well, if it's a loan on a cheap deal, I guess I thought we brought him in to a bit of competition down those wings, didn't we? And for some reason, he hasn't impressed.
He said, I thought we were bringing in a striker, to be honest with you.
Yeah, so did we. Yeah, so did all of us, actually. And all of us wanted that. We also questioned the fullback positions in particular, didn't we? But you could argue now, actually, I mean, I looked at Monga's stats in the week, and actually for half the games he's played versus the double amount that Mavrididi's played, he's got exactly the same amount of, efforts and, finishing. So I think actually Monga is fine. I'm not too worried about this one. He can come in a midweek game perhaps and show a bit of vibrancy.
Yeah. We've just seen, we're talking about wasting money. Look what we wasted on Edouard. Look what we're wasting on these players. Okay, I guess the cover. And I'm going to give him... Look, this is his first 11. I mean, looking at this team, so we've got Bekovic in goal, which I get. I think it's his now till the end of the season. I don't think, and I got shot down by Clibo and Reese last night, because I don't think that had we had Stolarczyk in goal, we'd have got a point in the last 2 games.
Interesting. Yeah, I probably would agree with you on that. I think Begovic's experience has made a difference, definitely.
Yeah. And then look, the back four. Again, this is something Clibo said. I can't claim this as much as I'd like to because it actually makes sense. Is that Rowett's come in and said to Ricardo, "You're my right back."
Yeah,
the right back. Which he did in the last game. Yes, he obviously has a couple of runs forward. Of course he does. You expect that. But, he didn't really get out of position too much. And that was his problem before, was that he was getting caught out of position further up the pitch and then hadn't got the legs to get back.
Yeah, there's been 2 things going on there because there were times that he went forward into the midfield as Luke Thomas did, which is a big part of how you play this system, But the difference I felt was Skip and Winks. I think their effort in that game, they were the 2 players who were probably the top 2 players in the last game. I think it's because they covered a lot of defensive ground and forward ground, and they did a better job at being a team collective in the back sort of defensive unit alongside Ricky and Luke Thomas. And I think they didn't look as what's the word I'm looking for, as sort of disjointed as they have done before in previous games, which I think has led to the problems where we're looking at people getting caught out of position.
No, I agree. Coley, look, he scored the goal. His error led to them conceding the goal. Would you have stuck with him?
Yeah, I think so. I think, look, it was one mistake last time out, wasn't it? And I think apart from that, he actually had a pretty good go of it, really. He's got his flaws, and this is the problem with this entire team we got. I can see red flags about certain things that every player we got. What Rowett did really well, and to take it to Luke Thomas is a good example of this as well. You hide the negatives and emphasise the positives. Luke Thomas can't win a duel, can he? Whereas a Cody can. But Luke Thomas stopped playing for duels and started trying to intercept balls before they got to that man, which made a massive difference in his game. And I think for a Cody, a similar sort of management where we emphasise his positives, his physicality, and maybe make the passing a bit easier for him, shorter. I think that'll be a better way to go.
Nelson, look, Rowett knows him. I think when you're looking at the back four, he's the first name on that team sheet, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. I mean, some fans are giving him a bit of question marks at times. I think when he was in the back three, he looked a little bit lost at times and he didn't take as much accountability. But I think, yeah, there's a lot there to like with Ben Nelson. I think he is an intelligent footballer ultimately, which is good. So hopefully they can just continue building this partnership.
And the thing that surprised me was that both Clibo and Reese did go for Luke Thomas at left back. But is it a case of, well, who else?
Well, it is, yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, Christensen looks like he will be out for the season, and when he came off, it looked that way, didn't it? It didn't look good at all, and this is why I did want another fullback in for that bit of competition. But like you say, he seems to have Rowett got into certain players, and you can include Winks in this as well, where he's told them you're going to be my starting in this position, and I think that little bit of faith in them, and also helping guide them individually on their individual game, I think we can see some progress, and I think he did pretty well last time out, really.
He didn't do so bad, but again, I think he is better. His attacking ability and his crossing, for me, is better than his defending.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he's much more better forward facing, isn't he? I question whether we should put him on the left wing at some point because I felt that would be really good for him, especially for the attacking part of the team as well. But like you say, we haven't got anyone else at left back. That's one you can criticise the club on, bearing in mind, obviously, we've got Richards not on the bench today. Could we have had a loan at left back instead?
Well, yes, exactly. But again, hopefully this new guy that's coming in next month will sort this out because that's what you expect of Rudkin. Well, we need a left back. Yeah, I'll go and get a right winger. Who could be a striker, but the loan club that's loaned him doesn't want us to play in there. It's totally and utterly weird. I was just looking. When does Christensen's deal expire?
I believe 2027. No, I believe it's another year, but I'm not 100%.
I'm just having a look here. Yeah, it's not down there for this season. So, it looks like he's going to be. We got him for another season if he ever actually plays. So he's one we could do with shifting out, isn't he, really?
I don't think anyone's going to want to buy him now. Maybe we had that interest from Forest. That was when he got injured, wasn't it? I think that's cost us big time, unfortunately, with that scenario. We might be stuck with him to the end of his deal.
Yeah. I mean, we've also got, as Doncha, we've also got Vestergaard as well, which I know the wages are a question with Vestergaard, but when he's fit, he's got to be not necessarily in the starting 11, but he's got to be in the squad.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think he's a sort of player for me that when we need a goal from a corner, he's up there with one of the players you want in the box, isn't he? But there is that complete problem with his lack of pace now, and that is a real big hindrance when you're trying to play the sort of football you need to, not just for Leicester, but in the Championship generally. So that is a problem for us with Vestergaard, unfortunately.
Yeah. Fatawu is back. Bobby is in the number 10, and Mukasa is stuck out on the wing. He didn't do bad last time, Bobby, when he was on the wing, but he's not a winger. This is his better position, but are we losing by having Mukasa on the wing?
We could do, but at least in the good news is they're both in there. We can swap them during the game if it doesn't work out right. I mean, I quite like the idea of Bobby maybe being on that side because I think then Luke Thomas can contribute more to the attacking element. Skip can cover him off because he can drop into left back. And then you've got Bobby Reid, who's actually better drifting inside right. And that's harder to mark. And that's where he plays his game best, really, sort of drifting between a 10 and a winger role for me. He sort of gets into spaces, doesn't he? So I think the good thing is they have made a bold decision to go Mikasa on the wing, which hopefully won't take away that bit of quality we've seen him have in the middle, but we can just change it back, Chris. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's okay. It's a good compromise, this.
They should be interchangeable, all the players, shouldn't they, really?
I think in the attacking unit, yeah.
Yeah, well, even like if Winks goes forward, Skip should hold back, and if Skip goes forward, Winks should. And on these, yeah, if Mukasa comes in, Bobby should go out to the. I mean, last week when AU came on, I mean, he was just getting in everybody's bloody way on that left-hand side, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, but like you say, there was a good counteract to that. We saw other players sort of filling the gaps better. They had a lot more intelligence in their game. I think sometimes they were headless chickens in this season, weren't they? And they sort of, you know, didn't really work out what they were doing. But yeah, no, I think that's it. And I think the nice thing is we have got an option, just moving players around in this formation we've got and seeing if we can make a way to break Norwich down today.
Would you have brought Fatawu back in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a good argument out there about him being a very good impact sub as well. I think that is a very good way you can look at it. You know, and I think that is part of football, managing legs, isn't it? But no, I mean, you've got to look at it for what it is. If we're a bit dry at scoring goals, you need someone who's going to maybe be able to pop up and get you one from 35 yards, which has got us out of jail a few cards this year. So yeah, I think I think he's not had his best season. I think he needs to get a bit braver, but I still think he is the best chance for us down that side.
Okay, and look, he's gone Daka up front again. I'd like to see Richard be given a chance there, but at the end of the day, if it's Daka or AU, give me Daka every time.
Yeah, I think so. I think he had one of his better games last time out. Of course, he's not perfect. He's not really prolific in scoring goals, is he? But his hold-up play was a bit better. He was a lot more involved. The game before, I felt he disappeared again. So there needs to be that maybe thing with him, giving him regular minutes to try and get something out of him here. But no, I definitely would prefer him over AU because when AU plays, he drops back behind the 10 and we don't have any attacking forward then, do we?
No. And look, he's got the speed. I don't think we should take him off to bring AU on, to be honest with you, because I think it's a downgrade, and I think AU, like you say, is just a waste of space going on. Where Daka, should be able to run for 90 minutes and just keep their defence occupied.
I think if I was to bring AU on, it would be in a circumstance where I felt we needed to break the game up a bit, and I'd replace him for Bobby Decordova, re-put Mukasa in the 10, and have him on the left wing.
Well,
because he naturally drifts out to the left wing anyway. It's his natural position.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the pace really for it, but I think the things he can bring in that part later in the game might be a way to utilise. And once you say we've got to hide the negatives, emphasise the positives of the players, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, you're right. You're right. Guys, we're going to look at the subs in a second. We've got 65 in, which is great for the pre-match. Thank you very much for joining us. If you're new, subscribe. It's free of charge. You might like what you see. We do a lot over on here that is just silly, to be honest with you. We don't take ourselves too seriously, do we, Tom?
Definitely not, mate. If we did with Leicester City fans, we'd be crying all the time recently.
Indeed. And I tell you what, it's nice to have Tom along. I was trying to describe you to Luke, and he absolutely wet himself. You are the missing member of ZZ Top, which
that's it.
Told you since the day I've first seen you. But guys, please do this for me.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel now and make sure you never miss another upload. Leave a like now. Ring the bell and never miss another video.
And of course, you're on your mobile, hype as well. So there we go. Subs, this was what Jim was getting excited about. Salat, Chick, Lascelles, Aluko, Aribo, James, Page, Mavadidi, Monga, and Ayu. It's not a bad bench, is it?
Oh, it's a lot better now. Now we've got a few players coming back from injury, isn't it? I mean, the one everyone's looking at is Jordan James, isn't it? I'm actually glad not to see him go into the first 11 today. I think while he's obviously got added value in what he could do over probably Skip or Winks, he carries the ball a bit better going forward. I just think we've got to watch these legs. The way he got injured, he should have been taken off before it happened, Chris. I remember watching it going, he should have been taken off because you can see he's starting to struggle here. And then he goes down with an injury we couldn't afford to have at that moment. So that's not break up the midfield too now, but he's got some vibrancy off the bench and we can make sure he is back fully fit before we get into the end of this season.
I'm going to ask you this then, interestingly. If he gets to a point where he's fit enough to come back and then fans are screaming for him to come back, who would you drop?
Well, you could argue we could switch to a 4-3-3. I think we can have Winks and Skip in there alongside Jordan James. I think that could work. I think then, but then I'd actually do either one, to be honest, Winks or Skip, depending, on the scenario we face. I mean, so yeah, I think there's ways around it, Chris. But like I say, it isn't what your question is right in that. Who would you pick of the two? I think it is a hard call at the moment because I think Winks has played very well the last couple of games.
Yeah, exactly. weeks ago, we'd have said, yeah, bloody hell, drop Winks, definitely.
Yeah.
But he's done all right. Gray says, sorry, what was it here? Yeah, Keith, sorry, says, apart from Ayu, yeah, it is a strong bench apart
I
from
kind of
Ayu.
wish we could play a diamond formation. I just wonder if we had a diamond in the middle where we had Winks and Skip and we had James, I think that would be quite an interesting way of doing it. And Mukasa at the top of that.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not against the diamond formation because Terry Venables played that in 1996.
Yeah, he
And we
did.
destroyed Holland 4-1. And
James would be our Gascoigne.
yeah, I still say to this point, to this time, I will die on this hill. If we'd won 4-0, Scotland would have gone through.
Oh, would they? I can't remember the intricacies.
Yes, yeah, no, they'd have gone through. And when Holland got that goal, that meant that as it stayed like that, which obviously it did, that Scotland would go home. Now, I'm not kind of cast aspersions here, but ask yourself. Right, okay. So last time out, we actually beat them, but it is a completely different Norwich this time, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, like I say, they were going through that phase that we've gone through, where they were really struggling. They couldn't get a home win to save save anything, could they, Chris? They were on such a negative run. They were in their own heads, and their change came in after this. With Manning leaving the club. So yeah, and it was a late winner for us as well, which was good. But yeah, so we can't really view this as almost like the same team. It is going to be a different challenge for us today, and like similarly to 10 years ago in our Premier League title push, we had a big game against Norwich, didn't we, at home? And it's fallen at the same time, which historically is quite interesting.
It is, and of course that was the time of the did the earth move for you?
Absolutely, but let's hope we get another earthquake today because we're so happy the fact we've actually won this game. Because, like I've been saying in the chat, this really is the 3 points we need today.
It is. When you look at the games we've got coming up, although we beat Ipswich last time out, stranger things have happened. Do we have a look at some stats?
Yeah, let's do it, mate. Bring them out.
Okay, so here we go. Now, first of all, the first stat there, I know we've conceded, we haven't held a clean sheet. I think it's 28 games now.
Yep, 28.
It might be, yeah. And they've got 9 there. I don't think they could go into double figures for some reason. And we're 22nd in the championship. No, we're not. I mean, again, that's wrong. We're 23rd. I think this was done. I don't know. They've got it completely wrong. But Norwich have scored 11 goals in their last 5 matches. They're 17th, but ranked 14th in the XG table. When you look at that form going in, fucking hell, that scares me.
It scares me as well because it's all the teams. The last 4 they've won out of the last 5 games have all been teams in and around us. Literally, it's in the Sheffield Wednesdays, the West Broms, the Oxfords, and you think, are we the next ones on this list? And they're a very capable team. Like has been said in the chat there, they're vastly improved. I mean, if I was thinking as a Norwich fan, I'd be thinking next season with this manager and adding to this group, we could really have a go for top 6. So they've got a lot of momentum in their favour. Let's just hope that we can match up to that battle today.
Simon says Norwich have collected the most points in 2026.
Yeah, they have.
I laughed when they took on their new manager, ex-Rangers, Clement, isn't it?
That's right.
That's it, right. But he's doing all right, isn't he? And yeah, I mean, but so let me flip it over then, because, and again, I said this last night, all that green, they've lost to Birmingham, which was probably their toughest game out of all of them. But they beat Sheffield Wednesday, West Brom, Oxford, and Blackburn Rovers. A, first of all, thank you, Norwich. And B, shouldn't they have done that anyway? Shouldn't they?
Yeah.
In that you'd expect them in the form that they've been on that they would beat those teams. So maybe those Greens aren't as. I mean, if those Greens were sort of Coventry, Middlesbrough, Charlton Athletic, maybe,
No, I know.
Then maybe it would have been a bit more impressive.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I'd agree with that. And I mean, look, the post-manager bounce is over for them because they did have a couple of games before that run of fixtures where things started to look a little bit more difficult. I mean, there's a stat around them where if they concede first, they generally don't pick up as many points as any other team in the league. That's something we can look at and go, well, that's a little edge we can have today if we score first. I think they've only picked up 5 points from a losing position all season, Chris. I think while it looks really good for them, I think we've got to really view ourselves as today, look, we want to be in the form, team that has played well the last couple of games and that we can maximise that.
Yeah. Look, ours 2 draws. We could have won either of them, couldn't we? Really?
Yeah. Let's hope it doesn't cost us.
Well, no, but I don't think we'd have won either of those games if we still had Marty in charge.
Oh, no. I think the heads were so down. We were playing as a group of individuals, weren't we? I mean, the thing is, like we said, unfortunately, there can be a bit of a baby step element to what we're doing now and trying to get the foundations solid enough to go for this. And we do worry about the time it's taken to get Rowett in the door, especially the games we've thrown away now, because we've got to play bigger teams and find bigger performances when the Oxfords have already passed us by. So yeah, definitely, mate, agree with you on that.
Yeah. They're just showing... who's that female chef that supports Norwich?
Delia Smith. She used to own them.
Yeah, she's still got shares, I think, but she's given a "Let's Be Having You" speech. They were just showing again.
I don't think they allow her near the microphone anymore.
No, or certainly not after a glass of red wine. And look, there's the table. Sheffield Wednesday already down, already relegated, and relegated by your fiercest rivals. That hurts. Norwich there in 17th. Look, we could get out of the bottom 3 today if we win. If we win I agree there, Jim. They have changed the mindset. If we were to beat Norwich today, that takes us out of the bottom 3, and that puts us on 37 points. So we're going to be 1 point behind Blackburn. So we're going to make Blackburn going like, what's happening here? And then you've got West Brom going, oh shit, we're in the bottom 3. And again, that mindset, that thought that could be such a good thing, couldn't it? I can't think of what I'm looking for, but
no, I know what you mean. I think there's a mental advantage in us playing first today. Yeah, I do agree. Us playing first today actually probably benefits us because I think if we can get the points on the board, I mean, it'll be typical Leicester to throw away this opportunity, won't it? I mean, but then maybe I'm stuck in the past of the negativity of seeing Marty's if you enters his football. But no, it's an opportunity for us to put a bit of pressure on them, and more importantly, rather than just West Brom, it puts the pressure on the Charltons and Portsmouths and Blackburns again, doesn't it? And we need to make this a battle royale for this relegation spot if we can, because there's more teams than we can jump ahead of.
According to the BBC, I've just seen it on Sky as well, everybody's coming up with a different lineup, but the BBC have got Dakova Reed on the right, Mukasa in the centre, and Fatawu on the left.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, the thing is, we can move them around a little bit. I mean, Fatawu will be inverted there, won't he? But that might not necessarily be a disaster either, because that might freshen up his game today.
Well, interesting. Let's see where it goes. All right, have a look at a bit of the stats here, mate. We'll quickly rush through this. Then you can do your bit on Norwich before you go off and line everything up, because you're going to be doing the commentary again. Now, this is the defence stats. We've had more clearances, but they've had more interceptions, block shots, and clean sheets. Of course, they have. They've conceded less goals, and they've conceded less goals inside the box. But we've conceded less goals from outside the box. To me, that says, what the fuck are the defenders doing in the box? They panic and they get confused.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams who have done that. Middlesbrough tried this against us, didn't they, last time out? They had a lot of chances from inside the box, and a lot of it was us getting bodies on the line and getting a bit more nervous. But if you actually look at them, despite the red and the green, there's actually not too many dissimilarities between us and Norwich. I mean, if you look at how many goals we've scored, we've actually scored more goals than Norwich this season, for one. I'm not sure if that stat's coming up in a minute, but that would surprise some people, wouldn't it? You know, and clean sheets and stuff like that. Yeah, we're miles behind on that. But for clearances, interceptions, it's all literally 2 or 3 in it either way, Chris.
Yeah. Wayne's in. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? Nice to see you. Turning up a bit late. Hope you got a note from your mother. Just to confirm, Wayne, you're okay to come in at half time. And Yvonne's in. Hi, Yvonne. How are you doing? Right, that's the defence. This is the duels.
Yeah, it looks worse than what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're still making up a lot of stats from when we really weren't in football matches, and our heads weren't in football matches either.
So the Norwich have still got their stats in there from when they were awful at the start of the season, and only got a couple of points.
But they've had a longer time to adjust under a manager, haven't they, Chris? This was my point at the start of the thing. They've gone through a similar experience than we have, but they made the change much quicker. If we'd made the change the same time at Norwich, there's an argument we might not even be in a relegation scrap at this point, but we held on to Marty for a very long time here, didn't we?
We did, because this club can't actually make a decision, as we know. Wayne said it's pissing down in Leicestershire. There we go, passing. Passing. I think we're on top there, don't you? I mean, when you look at the passing rate, you've got open play passes. They've had more. They've created more chances, but only just 10 more. We've completed more passes. Our passing accuracy is more. Crosses is higher, which is important, but we've got to get somebody on the end of them, haven't we? Passes completed in the opposition half is more, but passes completed in our own half is actually less, because everybody's been saying, it's going to be all passing between the what you call it, around the back and what have you. But according to that, no.
No, it's interesting, isn't it? Because actually, every time we do this on the watch-alongs every week, Chris, it's amazing to me how close we are in a lot of the stats than what we think from what we've seen, right? I mean, it just shows you how this league is actually quite tighter than what we probably appreciate. A lot of people called it a bad league this year, and ironically, it probably is actually. The quality isn't really there, but we can see that a lot of teams are literally 10 or 5 passes off each other, and everyone's trying similar things, but the vast difference in results is quite apparent so far, isn't it?
Yeah. So we look at our shooting.
Yeah, let's have a look. Not a surprise here.
No. They've had more shots again, but it's not a million miles away. Shots on target they've hit the woodwork more. We've got more goals, although it's only again 2 more. Goals from inside the box, and this is what worries me. They've got 38. Goals from outside the box, we've doubled theirs. I mean, I think that's down to Fatawu on his own and probably the odd one from Winks. And the conversion rate is good as well. It's never really been a major problem, has it? I mean, you could say, well, number 9s aren't scoring, but I don't care as long as somebody's scoring. And if that's coming from Aberdeen, Fatawu, Mukasa, James, as long as the ball's going in the net, that's all I'm bothered about.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because this does show you the problem we've had, especially when we've been playing Jordan Ayew up top and we've been moaning about his positioning, because it does seem that we, inside the box, have lacked goal scorings and chances and goals, and that has been a translation throughout all these stats we've seen. That is the difference between us being a Norwich and being Leicester. Whereas Norwich have also got players who can score from range as well, especially with Ahmed, who's coming, who looks very good from Vancouver. I'll talk about their team in a minute, obviously. But it does show me that Rowett's really got to work on that part of this team as well as keeping the clean sheet. We've got to create more chances from inside the box and some better final third incisive play.
Indeed. Right. I'm going to go and powder my nose. So I'm going to pass it over to you because you can discuss Norwich, who I think you go in the same formation as us.
Yeah, they are. They're 4-2-3-1 today, guys. It's interesting because both the managerial changes for Leicester and Norwich have involved basically keeping the same system, just trying to execute it better. I questioned the Clement appointment when it happened, thinking they needed to really refresh themselves, and the same with Leicester, obviously, as well. But interesting, actually, it's proven to be that just adding that work rate and adding the, hitting those metrics a bit better can make a more improved performance. With so many teams playing 4-2-3-1 nowadays, they do match up kind of well against each other. But let's get into the team. There's some news about Norwich. They are in a bit of an injury crisis right now. They've got quite a lot of players out injured here. I'll just read you out the list of injuries they got first. Mohamed Traore, their new star man they signed from Denmark, who scored 5 goals in 5 games and got an assist, is going to be out, unfortunately, which is a huge loss for them today. He was really hitting the ground firing after his signing in January for them. And obviously that has replaced Josh Sargent, who just completed his transfer to Toronto FC a couple of days ago. I've seen it all over my social media, as you can imagine. Long-term absences for Ante Krunic. They got Topic, who's out with a long-term cruciate as well. Jurasek's out. The top goal scorer this year, Makoma, is out for them till the end of the season as well. And they just lost a youngster from their academy, Tavares, to Barcelona, although he didn't feature much in the first team. So to get to the team on paper today, yeah, it'll be in goal for them Kovacic, if I can say it correctly, who's a very decent championship goalkeeper. I think he's got a lot of upside, could probably be a European player as well. Right back, they're going to have Fisher today, an academy prospect, alongside McConville. Cordoba, who's been there for a long time now, I'm pretty sure he played for them in the Premier League as well, is going to be at the left centre-back position. They've refreshed the team quite a bit from Sheffield Wednesday. I noticed they rested a few players, so they got Christen back into left back as well. They got the midfield, Sam Field, who's obviously very experienced in the Championship, alongside McLean, who's also been there similarly to Cordoba for quite a long time now as well. He's their captain for this one. A front attacking three, well, they have got some limitations right now with the players they got out. So they've got obviously Gibbs on the right there, Magoma in the centre of the attacking midfield position, and new signing Ahmed, who I really rate, who's come in from Vancouver. Watch out for him because he's a bit like Fatawu. If he gets an opportunity to strike from distance, I think he can find the back of the net quite easily. He's got a lot of upside to him. And up top, they're down to one striker fit, really, which is going to be Chris Garden today, who hasn't really set anything on fire so far for them, but he's a very capable, rounded, sort of complete forward. So he's going to have a bit of ability of his feet and his head as well. And you go onto the bench here to look how they're sort of still lacking. They've got no backup striker. It'd be Mundell Smith would be the closest thing to that. Goalkeeper's going to be Grimshaw on the bench. Jack Stacey, who played in midweek, is going to be on the bench. Medic, who can play either at centre-back or defensive mid. Darling, the centre-back's on the bench as well. Youngster from Man City, right, central midfielder, Slilman. And then we've also got Springett from their academy. And what's the other one I can't quite read, though, on the screen? Marcondes, who interestingly enough, obviously played for Brentford and has got quite a lot of pedigree at being, a pretty talented footballer. But unfortunately, he hasn't really got much of a look in for them. But he's got dangerous things he could do from attacking mid or maybe striker as well. So yeah, interesting one today because they have got all these injuries and they are in a position similar to us where they're sort of cobbling a team together here. They're still a very capable team, but they definitely would be more dangerous if they had for one Makoma back in there, who's been utterly on fire for them this season. And you could also argue Jurasek obviously could be a European winger, and maybe Krinic as well, these long-term injuries as well. So yeah, so they're picking from a limited field base here of what they can have, but I still think it's given us a bit of an opportunity to make this pretty equal as a game, Chris.
Well, interesting, but we are the gift that keeps on giving, aren't we?
We have been, but there's been a lot of positive momentum behind Rowett, which I completely buy into because I think he's actually got the group at least looking like they're going to be able to put a shift in.
We were bodies online against Middlesbrough. We hadn't seen that all season. Tom, you go and get yourself. I've got me. This is what I call a balanced diet.
Oh my word! You're double part, Chris. You have to down one of those now. Who are playing you? Have you got the match day bingo sorted for this? You were threatening last week. We should have done that.
No, to be honest with you, mate. Can I just show you this? Right, I do a radio show Saturday and Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
This is my pre thing for those shows.
Oh right, yeah. Is that for all the songs you got to pick?
It is, and the different features that I do, and I tie songs into the features. So yeah, it's been a bit of a busy week. So bingo's gone out the window a little bit, but you go and do whatever you need to do, and I will see you in a bit.
See you in a minute, guys. Cheers.
Now then, what we're going to do about this, I know some of you have already been putting your score predictions in. Hi, Fields, how you doing? Just as I say that, Jeff, are you all right, mate? Says any score will do as long as it's a win. Fair point. And can I just say at this point, when most people are in against, please smash that likes and subscribe to the channel. Can I just say there's no spoilers. Now, there's a few games being played at 12:30. I will keep you updated with those scores. Do not put those scores in the chat. Do not put anything in about penalties, corners, or anything like that. Tom will do that. That's Tom's job. So if you do, and we've got our main mod in today, Gray. How you doing, Gray? He's really good at his job. He will kick you. Now, if he kicks you, it's anything up to 24 hours. If he misses it, and I see that you're doing it, even if you're doing it as a joke, I kick you, it's permanent. and you don't know that it's been done because it still looks when you come on like your things are coming up. Yeah, basically, as Gray says there, any spoilers and you are out. So my prediction for this game is going to be. Do you know what? I'm going to actually go for a Leicester win, and I haven't done this in a long, long time. Or as Gary Barlow say, a long, long time. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think we've got to forget that. We've got to take that off our albatross from around her neck. I don't think a draw will be good enough. I think we need to start winning. I mean, a draw would put us above West Brom purely on goal difference, but we need to start winning games now. I would take a draw over a loss. That goes without saying. And I say a draw would put us above West Brom, but West Brom are going to be playing later, because we've seen here before. West Brom at 3:00 are playing Oxford, so that could go either way. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Leicester. What are you on? Yvonne's agreeing with me. And just as I say that, Mr. ZZ Top popped back in. What's your prediction, mate? Oh, you cut it. You cut it off. It's not as long as it was.
Yeah, I did trim it a little bit. Yeah. Because, I thought it was getting a little bit out of hand, really, Chris. I mean, we have got faces for radio, but what can we do? But we try our best, So one try and hide all that. But, well, what's the prediction for this one? It's a funny one for me, this, because it does seem to be like, by law of averages, it'll be like a 2-1 or a 1-1 kind of game, doesn't it? I'm going to be bold.
Everybody's going 2-1, except the real bearded monster, who I'm guessing is a Norwich fan, has gone 3-1 to Norwich.
Yeah, which could happen. I mean, I think the thing is, you're right in what you said a minute ago, as I heard when I was coming back in, which I think a clean sheet will be difficult today. I think someone like Ahmed can shoot from distance if they are struggling to get a goal. I'm going to go for Leicester to win by 3-2, which is a little bit of a stretch.
Whew, that's going to be no good for my heart, is it?
I got a feeling today it's a sort of game where we know we got to win at home. We know Gary will get into the boys today. Look, you're at home today, lads. You really want to go there, as we're just seeing the protests coming down the street now on the television.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, goodness me, I could actually see one of the BTG guys.
Oh, yeah, I just saw Neil.
That's it. Manil, bless them. Yeah, so well done to everyone. Yeah, looks like they're being very reasonable. But yeah, no, I'll go for 3-2. I think it's going to be a dramatic game today. I think both teams will be up for it. Yeah.
I mean, everybody's saying it wouldn't be on the telly. It's only been on the telly that one couple of minutes, really, hasn't it? But
they mentioned it, and Mark Albrighton's talking about it now.
Yes, yeah. Nate, I'm going to go because players are going to be coming out soon, so I'll let you at it. I'll be back at half-time with the Wayne Meister, and have a good lot. And don't forget, no spoilers, and please subscribe, hype, do everything. Click it if you've got a little button there, click it for me. That's all I'm going to say.
No worries. Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, we're getting ready for this one, guys, now, so we'll see how this one goes. Yeah. Feels like a big day in Leicester City's history, this one, doesn't it? Because it really matters today. A draw would be a draw, a performance would be a performance. But beyond all of that today, it's 3 points we are after. We are winless in the last 8 games in the Championship, drawing 3 and losing 5. So we are coming into this. Here's some other stats just to really warm us up for this. Leicester have won all 5 of our last league games versus Norwich. Hopefully I'm not being cursed to the commentator with that one, guys. Norwich have on average have conceded 2 goals a time in those games as well. So that'll be interesting. 3 games at home in a row we have lost, which is quite rare for us, actually, as a football club, as you know. So hopefully today we'll break that and not make it 4 in a row. But Norwich have won 4 of their last 5 away games. So there's a lot of contrasting stats here. Top is in the stadium alongside John Rudkin there. There's been a little bit of discussion going on with the fan base as well. So interesting how there's been a bit of division this week, and you've seen it on social media as well. You know, and that's obviously a sad thing to see, but it's good to see, obviously, like I've always said, we've got very passionate fans who want what's best for the football club, right? And it's Leicester is about Leicester City. It's not actually about the players or the ownership. It's about, you know, the whole Leicester City that has been here since 1884. You know, it's you know, it's really important. Anyway, the players are coming out onto the pitch now. I see some of your predictions I'm going to quickly read out. So Jeff's gone 3-1 there. We got Paulo. Hey, mate, you've gone for Leicester to win 2-0. Gray's gone 2-1. Chris might have already said this, but I was out of the room. Wayne's gone 2-1. Real Bearded Monster 3-1 to Norwich. There's an unhappy face. You're not a Norwich fan, mate. 2-1 to move on there as well. And let's see how we get on. We can do it as long as we keep up momentum. Well said, everyone in the chat. Looks like we've got quite a few people in the stadium today. And well said, great. No one is bigger than the football club. Hopefully, we'll see the energetic performance we've seen so far. The worst thing we can see today is to see us take a backward step. That would be the thing for me. I think if we can retain the confidence of what we have done so far in the building process of getting these foundations a little bit more stable, I think there today the opportunity to take that to the next level and win this one. Looks like there's a decent crowd there today at the King Power as well. And of course, despite any protests, it has been made very, very apparent by the protesters themselves in the stadium. We're backing the lads, and that's the best thing for Leicester City, right? So to take you through the teams again one more time, Salarchik is in goal. There has been a problem with Begovic in the warm-up, which means he has dropped out. Vietes is on the bench, replacing him. Last-minute change. Could this be a bit of drama to really make our season more complicated? So yeah, last-minute change. Chris has got to change it along the bottom. Jacob is in goal. Begovic went down in warm-up, and he's not going to play. Wow. Last-minute change of destiny, perhaps, guys. Then, of course, it's Ricardo, Akoli, Nelson, and Luke Thomas. We got Winks and Skip in the middle. It's saying here it's going to be Fatawu on the right, Mukasa as the 10 role, and it's going to be Deckled over Reed across on the left, which is kind of what I felt they would go for. And obviously, Pats and Daka up top here. So, interesting. What do you guys make of the last-minute change? Are you a bit more worried about it now that Begovic isn't going to be able to play in this one? We'll see. It's a big day. I'd say to Jacob that he's got all the ability to do it. I just wanted to be a bit more vocal and a bit better at coming out to collect those crosses. That has been something that, actually, to be fair, Begovic himself hasn't exactly been that brilliant at either. So I think there is little things you can make there. And as long as he communicates with his back four well, let's hope it's not going to be too much of a problem for us here. Just waiting for the game to get underway now, guys. The players are out on the pitch here. There's been a little handshake between the two managers, both of which coming into teams that have had real difficult starts. Yeah, Fran Vietes is on the bench as well. Interesting stuff. And as Chris is going to put on screen there, looks like Begovic won't be playing today. He's pulled out in the warm-up. So, well said, Dorco. You actually mentioned it earlier, but it kind of got lost with everything else we were going on. Well spotted, Dorco. See how this one goes. Let's hope Jacob doesn't go down. We're going to have to chuck in Vietes for a really, really random debut, aren't we? Just showing Gary Rowett here. Last 10 results do not look good. We got in the championship, he got a win over West Brom. Bring us some luck, Tom. I'll try my best, Andreas, mate. I'll try my best, mate. I'll bring my positive energy to this. I'm up for this. I'm really up for this. I've had such an awful week with my other love in life, the Leafs, that I'm really up for this. I'm quite glad to be away from that. Leicester aren't nowhere near as in bad shape as them. So got the huddle going on here on the left-hand side for Leicester. We will be kicking from right to left to start this one. And then Norwich in their yellow kit will be kicking from right to left. So we're kicking from left to right. They're kicking from right to left. Helps you know your left and rights, guys, doesn't it? 94 of you in. If you could hit that like button. Obviously, we like to get over 50. If we could maybe even double that today. Am I pushing my luck? We did have 100 likes the other week, but it does help the channel. And obviously, it'll make Chris a very happy man. And once again, watch out for the spoilers, guys. Chris gave you all the right act there. We're underway, and it gets underway. The goalkeeper is going to pick up the ball straight away for Leicester here to get his first touch. And he slipped over with his first kick of the ball, guys. But luckily, it's gone to a Leicester player in the centre of midfield here. Norwich are going to mop up this ball now at the back of their defence, and they're going to try and play a long ball down the far side of the pitch. It makes the halfway line and bounces around before there's a foot put through it there by Ben Nelson, who's going to try and play Patson Daka in. Well read there in defence by McConville, who's headed it clear. But here come Leicester now. We can switch to play here down to the near side. Winks and Skip doing nice 1-2s here. 3 Norwich players circling around like vultures, trying to press this ball early. We've got quite a high line here. Ricardo is ducked in ahead of Akoli in front of him here. 1-2 again made up with Mukasa there. And here comes Fataru now in a bit of space down this side. He's got his legs already and he's taken past one man here, guys. He's getting right involved here against Fisher. Tries to get a strike away inside the penalty area and it hits off the leg of the defender there and comes back out to the central midfield position. Cody now pressing forward to lay it off to Mukasa. Nice ball over the top here into the penalty area. Can be crossed in towards the 6-yard box, headed clear by Cordoba of Norwich. And it's going to come all the way out to the halfway line where Leicester are going to pick it up again. A minute on the clock and we've come out of the blocks here, guys, trying to find that space, trying to play clever balls. Mukasa's got very intelligent passing, hasn't he? Really intelligent stuff there from him to try and pick that ball over the top to play Leicester in. And there's going to be a free kick given up here to Norwich. A skip went in a bit too heavy here. Ooh, what a bit of a frenetic start there. It looked like we're up for this one, guys. I think Rowett would rightly say we want to get the players behind the boys here, right? Sorry, the fans, behind the boys. Sorry, I got it the wrong way around. But you know my drift. If you get off to a good start here, you can create a nice bit of noise. The 12th man could come into action here. And all these things are going to help us on this battle for championship survival. What a good start. Well said there, Chris. And Chris is going to keep us updated with other scores going on, guys, who you don't mention them today, obviously, until after Chris has mentioned them, all right? Here come Norwich now, though, after that free kick. And they're just outside our penalty area. Ricardo there is lost out in a 50-50 duel. Going to be a ball play towards the 6-yard box, cleared out by Ben Nelson. And it's going to go all the way behind now for a goal kick to Leicester. So that's a little bit of a counter flurry there. Norwich looking like they're going to play in a similar way to us here. When there's an opportunity to get a press on and to break quickly, they're going to try and be direct into the box and cause us problems, right? Let's hope the last minute goalkeeping change doesn't help us out. What was I saying? Yeah, exactly, mate. Just seeing Gary Rowett here, just seeing Gary Rowett here down as we're going to play a short goal kick. Left back Luke Thomas is trying to hoon it all towards halfway here, but unfortunately Norwich have got us pressed in the half and they've won that ball with the fullback. Back to Cordoba, who's come over halfway. All of Norwich's players are in our half here. They're going to play it down to the space on this near hand side for Chris Sen, who's got the overlapping run coming in here from Ahmed. Really liked what I've seen of him so far. It's amazing. Sometimes with MLS players, and Ricardo knocks that out of play for a throwing here down towards the corner flag on the near-hand side. Interesting to see how some MLS players really adjust either really well or they're terrible. There's kind of no in-between ground with them, is there? It's taken Adjumang a long time for Derby to actually get up to speed for the levels they want for £7.5 million. But this chap only cost £2 million, I believe, in Vancouver, and he looks very lively. Getting into a battle there with Fatawu, he's gone down, but the ball's going to come back in. The Cody's going to get his foot on it and clear it out to touch again here as Norwich now having a little bit of pressure. Cody is still bandaged up from the game the other day. Incredible. Reminds me when Sol Bamba made his debut and he had that blooming big welt on his head in the first few minutes, right? Rest in peace, Sol. We miss you, bud. Here come Leicester now, and it's going to go out of play here, and I think it's going to be a throwing there that Winks has won, or it's a free kick. Referee hasn't quite made that clear. Looks like it's going to be a throw-in on the near side, halfway in our own half. Right, it'd be nice if we can get back on the front foot here, because Norwich decided to press us quite high there in the counter effort to what we were doing. Here comes a run now from Luke Thomas. He has to go back here, and it's a bit of a dead ball to Skip, who's done a good job to win that under a bit of pressure from Norwich. If he'd missed that, Norwich would have been in, but he did a very good job. Back to Jacob, who's going to lay it down now to Akoli. We're going to play out from the back here, down to Ricardo, near-hand side, forward to Fatawu. Well read there by Norwich and Chris Sen, who's going to knock that one out of play for another throw into Leicester. We throw it back into play with Ricardo, now trying to get this game underway. Ricardo's got two players on him there. He was literally, they're targeting him here, you can tell, which I don't think is a bad strategy for the opposition because he can be a little bit flaky at times. You put 2 or 3 players on him. Ball now in the centre of the pitch here, and Norwich are going to nick it off Mukasa. There's been a sliding tackle there as Thomas tried to retain the ball and he couldn't do it. And now there's a bit of space, but Thomas has got back, crossed into the 6-yard box from Norwich. No one really there. Ahmed was coming in at the back post, but well read by Jacob just to dive down there and grab the ball and kill the action. I'm not as confident now with the goalkeeping change. Interesting one, isn't it? It looks like a samurai warrior headband on a Cody. It does. Looks like he's ready for battle, doesn't he? I don't know. I mean, I think, when Jacob's at his best, I don't think there's too much in it anyway. I mean, I think it's a good performance, required from him today. But if I was him going in this late, I'd want to prove a point. I'd be like, well, I want to prove I need to come back into this team. So I'm going to view the positive side of it until I'm proved otherwise, right? Ball is back with the 2 Norwich centre-backs now, halfway in their own half, guys. And there's going to be Daka there. Daka could probably be pressing a little bit more quicker here. He seems a little bit walky at the moment, like he's just sort of trotting around a bit. If he starts pressing them here, they might make a mistake. So maybe a little bit more of that would be helpful, Patson. Here comes Deckle-Dover-Reid now to do that job, and it's all the way back to Kovacic and goal. He's going to play it forward. Skip wins that header. Head tennis going on, a back heel from Skip now to try and bring it down. And it's going to be Mukasa again, who's everywhere at the moment. He's either in the centre, he's down the right, he's on the left. That's what you need from your 10. He's really trying to find that space and really create nice little duos there with Deckle-Dover-Reid and Daka as well. Up to Luke Thomas here. He's going to play it down the left-hand side. A ball over the top towards Patson Daka. It's overhit and it's gone into the penalty area, and the goalkeeper will pick that up. But nice effort there to try and play a quick, direct long ball forward and try and break past Norwich here as they now play out from the back. Here comes Ahmed. He's gone past Ricardo, and Fataru's then knocked him over. The referee says nothing doing. Well done, referee. A bit of physicality there. That's normal in Championship football. 1-2 from Leicester with Skip and Deckle-Dover-Reid. Trying to hold on to the ball now, and we're going to reset here around the back two. Winks is back there to try and help out as well. JJ and Divine load sideys of the season. Well said, guys. Unbelievable. And thank you, Gray, for that as well, mate. Keep hitting those likes, guys. I'll say it. If you're more likes we get, the more likely we are to win, right? Come on. Here comes Ricardo down the right. Now plays the ball forward. That looked like it could have been offside, but Deckle-Dover-Reid there hit his back heel, unfortunately, and it's gone now for Norwich to be able to counter. Coley's in a bit of a battle here with Chris Garden as he comes into the bottom end of the penalty area. Coley gets a foot on it there, and it's going to go behind. And I believe that's going to be a corner to Norwich. But good stuff from McCody there. He didn't get too carried away, didn't get too hot-headed, was nice and physical inside the penalty area and got his foot on it to put it behind here. 7 minutes gone. And you could say after we started the first minute really strong here, the last 5 minutes, Norwich looked a little bit more dangerous when they've been coming forward, and we've had to focus on that part. Nice little take there from McCauley. Nice little read of where the ball was. Going to be the first corner of the game. It's going to be for Norwich here now. It's on the near side of the pitch. There's quite a few Norwich players there, so I can count 7 in the penalty area. It's crossed in, and luckily for us, it's going to bounce in front of the 6-yard box, and we're going to get a foot on it to clear it out towards halfway. Norwich will retain the ball. Everyone for Leicester back behind the ball here, guys. Once again, chucked in from deep left in the fullback position. It's going to be overhit, and there's going to be a little duel there with Deckle-Dover-Reid and Ahmed, and Deckle-Dover-Reid shields it out of play, and that'll be a goal kick to Leicester, and the pressure is off there. So that's good stuff, guys. Right, it'd be nice to see if we can get back on the front foot here now after that first minute. Norwich look like they're trying to play a real total football here, especially when they commit forward. I would say so far when we've committed forward, we've kept the centre-backs, or at least Ricardo, on the halfway line. They seem to be pushing beyond halfway in their attacking play and seem to have a little bit more commitment to that final third. We'll see how that works out. Going to be a goal kick from Jacob here, and he's instructing the players to go long, which is quite refreshing here. They're all congregating on the far side of the pitch, just over the halfway line, in a narrow shape here. Norwich are all narrow as well. It comes forward, and Luke Thomas is going to duel for that header there with Fisher. He gets his head on that, and it's going to go forward again now towards Deckle-Dover-Reid. He's trying to get into a battle here with McConville. No, it's Fisher again. My apologies. I didn't see the 3 on the shirt. There's a bit of a dead ball there. Winks is now going to play it forward again. Unfortunately, there were so many Norwich shirts there around Daka. There wasn't any way he could really go. Now it comes to Mukasa again. He's going to chip it down this near side for Fatawu. Fatawu is going to be in a battle here with Chris Sen, who puts his foot on it, kicks it out of play here down towards the corner flag, and maybe an opportunity for a long throw into the box now for Luke Thomas if we want to switch his side up. So pressure on their end. I think it's interesting. Both teams are playing more balls forward and trying to win the second ball. This is something we didn't really see under Marty Cifuentes. It was probably more total football, right? So I do like that change because I was questioning that under Marty's philosophy. I was thinking you've got to be able to compete for second balls in this league. It's a lot more scrappier. There's a lot less pass conversion. And especially when our passing has been so poor, you've got to have the balance of trying to keep the ball, press it along the ground, and also get it forward. Long throw from Luke Thomas now in towards the 6-yard box. Unfortunately, it's gone straight to a Norwich head and been headed out of play. It could have gone in a bit more centrally there, perhaps, as well. Norwich now trying to launch a counter. There's a lot of energy from Mukasa to get back here. Well done to him. Deckle-Dover-Reid now harrying as well, as Norwich are going to take the opportunity to reset across the back too. Ooh, frenetic game. It feels like every 2 minutes, whenever someone gets an opportunity, they are high pressing and going for it here, trying to get a goal. There should be goals in this one, guys. Hopefully it'll be in our favour as Mukasa once again is up here pressing. Daka's not pressing as much as I would like so far. I really would like to see him do a little bit more running around here. It seems to be Mukasa who's doing all of it, and then Daka is almost a bit too deep at times as well. But We'll see. And well said, Gray. We had no identity. I think as well we had a one-track mind of what we were doing, irrelevant of the opposition. I think if you do that in this league, it can be a bit arrogant, right? Yeah, well said, Chris. He's dropping very deep to pick up the ball, sitting in further up the field. I think part of the role he's playing is going to go across. Here come Norwich through the middle now, though, and there's a slip ball through here, and there's been a clip on the heels there, I believe, of Luke Thomas, and it's going to be a free kick to Leicester. Well done there from Luke Thomas. He read that really well, ran across the forward. He was trying to break into the penalty area, took the clip on the heels, went down, referee gave it. Oh, so that's a bit of pressure off. Yeah, I mean, the good thing about Mukasa is he's everywhere, and that's what we had with Jordan James, right? And like was mentioned by Gray, like having those two players who are going to be so involved everywhere and create some dynamic play in the centre of midfield is really helpful to us. Goal kick comes out now, and here comes Ahmed down this near side for Norwich. Plays it into the middle for McLean, who's going to chip a ball forward here towards the D of the penalty area. It's got a foot on it there from Nelson as we're trying to get rid of it here. Some bouncing footballs going on here. And there was a bit of space past Ricardo here for Ahmed to run into. Akoli's come down to cover off, and Ricardo's covering off Akoli in the centre. They seem to be a lot more organised, Leicester, now. If we give up the ball, we seem to be much more eager to get back, get into a shape. And it's be involved seeing like Skip go to left back, Ricardo goes to centre back if needed. So I'm liking to see that. Crossing now from Norwich towards the 6-yard box. Little flick on there from Akoli, and it's going to go out of play, I believe, down here for a throwing to Norwich near the corner flag. Ooh, still looking a bit like Norwich, looking a bit more lively. Gotta say that it looks like we might have to go to a bit more counter attack here. And there's one criticism so far, and I think it's a bit of a harsh criticism, you could say, because Gary's only been with the team for a couple of weeks. But we need to get better at having a counter attack. We seem to take too many passes still at times when you think we need to be a bit more direct, as there's an offside there for Norwich as well. I think that would really help us, especially against teams like Norwich who are going to press us, and we're going to see a lot more of that playing teams higher up the league table as we go here, right? So we get the free kick underway here from the offside. It's just outside the D in the centre of the pitch. Mukasa and Winks are going to pass it between each other, and now Skip's here. Mukasa is really deep here, Chris, you're right. He's right back by the fullback position now, and now he's going back forward up the pitch here. It could be a good and bad thing, that, because it's hard to keep a track of him then, but also we do need him, like you say, to be all towards the top end of the pitch more because of his goal scoring and passing ability. Ricardo now's coming under a bit of pressure on the right. He turns and gets the pass away. Fatu there wins his little duel, which is good to see. Nice little one-touch football from Leicester. And the ball tried to be played through by Mukasa. And there's a sliding tackle there from Cordoba, who has given away the free kick. If Mukasa had really rolled about there, we don't like seeing it. End it now, we're out of the bottom three. Well, it's only a point, Chris. We'll see. Yeah, sliding tackle there from Cordoba. The foot was slightly raised there. I mean, Mukasa's a very honest player. A lot of players in the Championship would have rolled about there, and he probably got a yellow card for that. So that's an interesting one. We take the free kick short here, and it's down to Fatu, who's trying to cut inside here from this near side. Gets to the outside of the D. His strike is off the legs of a Norwich defender. Strike from distance! Oh, and it's hit the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper didn't know it was coming, and he dived slightly to his right there. It was a central ball and a strike from Winks, I believe. Nearly caught him by surprise, and it's been deflected away. But it's a shot on target for Leicester, guys, and it's come through a crowd of players there. Going to see it again on the replay. Fatu gets through two, tries to get the strike away, and then Winks hits one with his left. It was so central and through a crowd. The goalkeeper saw it late, realised he had to get down quickly, and he just about managed to punch it away there. But you could argue that he probably should have grabbed that, and he nearly punched it into his own net. So there we go. That's a good opportunity there. Well, we've threatened the goalkeeper, guys, which is good. So come on, Leicester. Let's keep building here. Norwich now going to play it short out the back. And they're going to take a moment here to regroup before they go long here and try and play over the top now. Trying to play in Magoma, who is offside. That's twice now they've tried to go long, and we've had to play a really strong offside trap. So that's really interesting to see that part of the game in play. He made a run there, but Leicester's trap was pretty good. You can see the line of four there was pretty solid. And when the ball came down, he was flagged offside. Winks now trying to play a ball forward. Nice 1-2 here with, I believe that's Ricardo, isn't it? Who's pushing up forward ahead of Fatu here. Oh, and Winks, unfortunately, has misread that pass back. And now here comes Makoma on this near-hand side. He cuts inside, skips there trying to help out his tag team partner. Magoma plays a nice little dink ball in towards the D there. There's a little bit of arms up for Leicester, saying there might have been an offside. Referee says nothing doing. Deep cross in from Christine here. And it's going to be, or Christine. I'll call him Christine. That will really help us out, won't it? And now Leicester have managed to clear it out back towards halfway as we try and press this ball. Referee saying play on here because that was a late tackle there. And Chris is saying end it now again, bottom three. Chris, you made my face really big again, bud. No one needs to see that. Reduce it. Ahmed here is holding the ball for Norwich down this near-hand side here. He's taking his time. Thank you very much, bud. No one needs to see that. It's like a horror film, isn't it? Anyway, back across for the Norwich defence here, all pushed up into our half. And it's going to come back to Cordova, who probably should have been in the book for that sliding one of Mukasa, but we're a bit too honest. Here comes Ahmed now playing a nice little ball through there, and it's going to be Chrisen on the overlap. Cross towards the 6-yard box. Cody reads that really well, clears it out towards this nearby line. And here comes Ahmed again now, one-on-one with Ricardo. Takes it round Ricardo. So far, he's got the better of Ricardo here. Dink ball in from Chris End as well. Interesting, Jacob could have come out and grabbed that. Okoli's going to head it behind for a corner. I would argue a bit more of a vocal goalkeeper there. If it was me in goal, I would have literally shouted mine and ran out and grabbed that because it was inside the 6-yard box. And there wasn't really a lot of pressure there, apart from a Norwich player behind, which is Chris Garden. But the goalkeeper could have probably come and do that. Does she play with Pamela? I don't know, Chris. Depends what you look at on the internet nowadays, doesn't it, bud? Anyway, going to be a corner to Norwich, guys, before we get distracted by dirty jokes. Going to be played short to the edge of the penalty area. It's going to be Magoma, who's going to cross it in now towards the back far post. Headed down by Norwich in the 6-yard box. Luke Thomas clears that out with his left foot and gets it out towards the halfway line. Luke Thomas has done well just getting his foot through balls today where we needed it. Crossed in from deep again from Norwich, something we struggled with against Stoke, wasn't it? Ahmed takes it around Ricardo again there. The matchup of the 21s on this near side is going in the favour of Ahmed so far. And then the cross comes in. Jacob reads it well and picks it out of the sky in the 6-yard box. And that's the end of that trouble here. But once again, we're not going to go long to counter. We're going to try and play out from the back. But to be fair to Norwich, they're not pressing this. They're going to regroup as well. Where's the score on screen? It's a good point, Chris. You want to change the bit at the bottom, mate? I think it's the banner at the bottom. That should be Chill Smith. Thank you for making us. Thanks for pointing that out, bud. Yeah, because we haven't got the score there. It is 0-0, guys. It is 0-0. Don't worry. But here come Norwich again on this far-hand side, edge of the penalty area. Going to be a little dinking run from Fisher there, trying to find some space for a cross, which he can't do. And now he's going to go back and retain possession. Nice bit of pressing there from, I believe that was Winks, actually. And now here they come again down the opposite side, the switch of play. Ahmed against Ricardo, but they've had most of their good stuff so far. Into Magoma in the penalty area. We don't see Leicester play as much as this. Nice 1-2 there from Norwich. Crossed into the 6-yard box. Header again by Okoli, who's read every ball coming in from that side so far. Shot from distance. Off the legs of Skip and behind for a corner on the far side. It was to show the lineup, not an accident. No worries. Can we put the score anywhere, Chris? I'm not sure that's possible. And as we say that, there is there's 2 Norwich players down and Fataru's down here in the penalty area. I didn't quite see what happened there, guys. And here we go. Let's just see here. There was a nice 1-2 there. Magoma wasn't offside. He broke the offside trap nicely and a nice dink ball in. But Okoli has been very good at just reading where those balls are coming across the 6-yard box. Yeah, and there was a little bit of afters there with Fataru and Ahmed and a few other people. I think they're all up now, but all of them hit the deck. As Rowett gets some instructions out to the team here. I'm going to say, Gray, come on, Foxes, get a grip. Good point. Oh, thanks, Chris. You put it at the bottom, mate. It's difficult to know where to put these things because you can't have the clock, as I found out when Chris is away, without, replacing it with the score. So it's very difficult, isn't it? Score will be up permanently when there is a goal. Fair enough. Appreciate that, Chris. Sorry for the confusion there in the chat as well. And a little bit of a water break here before this corner is going to be taken. Both managers reading, the act to the team about what they need them to do. And I think Gray has said that well there as well. We need to get a little bit of a grip here. Norwich are starting to come into this a bit more. And if you're spending too much time focusing on the defensive side of your game, eventually you're just waiting for the accident to happen, aren't you? Although credit, I think, to Okoli so far. I think he's actually read everything that's coming pretty well. They've obviously noticed, and I've said this a minute ago, Ricardo is someone they can literally exploit against Ahmed. Ahmed's got that pace and trickery at his feet for Norwich, which is going to make him a hard person to come up against Ricardo today. Get ready to take this corner now. Fatu is still off the pitch at the moment, getting some rest. Thank you very much, Chris. All 12:30 kickoffs are still 0-0. So nothing hurting so far. As Chris rightly said, if this game was to finish the way it is now, we would be out of the relegation zone on goal difference with the point that would take us above West Brom before their crunch game this afternoon away at the Kassam Stadium in Oxford United. Referee's getting ready to take this corner. Now it's going to come from the far-hand side and it's going to be an outswinger. It's about to be taken now. Comes in towards the top of the 6-yard box. Header on it. Oh, and it's gone past that near post. Oh, from that camera angle, I thought he was going to dip inside the near post there. It's been headed past from Chris Garden. their complete forward there. Oh, and let's have a look at that one again. So it was a late minute run there, and he got away from Winks perhaps and a few others. And Ricardo was a bit static there on that right side. He sort of was looking around there. But you look at Ricardo, he possibly could have got involved with getting his head on that ball before it even got to the man, and he was just stood there. Hopefully it's not going to be a day where Ricky is going to be having one of his bad games, because so far it's looked a little bit shaky. You think Aluko might match up better pace against Ali Ahmed as well, but maybe that's something we'll see later on. We'll see. Leicester going to play out from the back now with Cody, who goes back to the goalkeeper. Goals conceded from crosses this season, Leicester have the most with 15. And actually, ironically, the thing which is even worse is the deep crosses. Ball forward now from Leicester, though. Thomas is trying to overlap on the left. McConville's done a great job there for Norwich to read that and put it out of play. Going to be an opportunity for Leicester now from a long throw, guys. I'm getting vibes this is like the Stoke game, because we started off pretty well in that, and then we got the goal, didn't we, to go ahead from a set piece. It does look like that could be this sort of game here. It doesn't look like we're going to go for a long throw here, though, but Luke Thomas is going to take it. There's a Mikasa, Skip, Fatawu all running around outside the top end of the penalty area. Ball through. It looks like there might be an offside. Referee's not giving it. Here comes Fatawu, tries to get the strike away. 5 Norwich players in front of the ball there, so unfortunately it's not going to work. Norwich are claiming a handball from Ricardo there as the ball bounces around. We need to get a grip of this here. There's quite a lot of Norwich players surrounding ours. It'd be nice to spread the play a bit. 1-2 of Ricardo. Turn and strike from Patson Daka. Would have caught the goalkeeper off guard there, but unfortunately it's flown over the top of the crossbar, and it's going to be a goal kick to Norwich. So half chance there. Daka trying to quickly do the 1-2 with Ricardo and just turning and just getting the strike away, but way too much on it. Reminds me of Mark De Vries used to play for us. That used to turn around and just smack it over the crossbar, didn't he? Goalkeepers let that one go over quite comfortably. Anyway, Norwich now trying to play out from the back. It's interesting how both teams are mixing up when to go for a longer ball forward and when to play out from the back. I'm getting a bit nervous when we're playing out from the back because Norwich's pressing seems to be a little bit better than ours. But when Norwich seem to play out from the back from a goal kick, they normally take one pass and then they normally go for a longer ball, which is something we're not doing. We're trying to feed either Fatawu or Mikasa or Decordova-Reid down the flank, right? Is this a library? It's gone quiet as a breaking play while Fatawu receives treatment. Yeah, that's all just happened, yeah. I think there's a bit of nerves in this stadium today, which you could understand. There's nerves for me right now because you kind of feel like a goal, for Norwich could take a bit out of our sails here, and they do look a bit more likely to score so far. But I think the thing with Rowett is he has got different variations, and the words he has spoken to players during games so far has made a difference. He's just had a word with them here. Yeah, a lot of nerves, exactly, mate. But anyway, let's hope it carries on here. Leicester with the ball in the Norwich half. Now Winks playing a ball forward. They're flicked on by Daka really nicely there up into Decordova-Reid on the far side. He's got space, but unfortunately he couldn't get the pass across. It was a poor first touch. It allowed Norwich to get back, and Fisher's going to boot it all the way down the pitch, where Coley's going to pick it up halfway in the Leicester half here. That was an opportunity if Decordova-Reid showed a little bit more finesse in that first touch, and he should have just drilled it across. First time we've really seen some space there against the fullback positions up the top of the end of the pitch for Leicester. Not a good day to go upside. You've already had about 2, Chris. You were double parked a minute ago, bud. The good thing with Chris not being on screen, guys, is that he can run to the loo whenever he wants. So, he can literally load up on as much cider as he wants. Unbelievable. Don't forget to hit that like button as well, guys. Thank you. There's so many of you in today. We really appreciate you joining us today, and hopefully, like I say, the positive energy of Leicester fans will get us through this. We need to be a 12th man with this slot right now a little bit, don't we? Ball's in the centre of midfield. I'm not stupid. I've never said you are stupid, mate. Ball down with Norwich now as they play a little bit of foot tennis there, down towards the near side of the pitch. It's going to go back to Chris N, the left back, and it's going to go back to the centre-back Cordova. He's going to play a long ball forward. That was a bit of an Okoli pass like he made against Stoke. And Leicester are going to pick it up in the middle now. Here comes Skip. Skip's gone down under a bit of pressure. Referee says nothing doing. Looked like he got barged over there. Norwich looking to break. Ahmed's got some space on the left. Watch out. Magoma's going to take it on his own. Oh, and he's put it past that far post. Oh, there was a pass on there. And then all of a sudden, a shooting lane opened up. Jacobs having a word there saying, why didn't you track him off, Ben Nelson? The bit of space in the middle here. I think we were playing a little game of chicken there at the back, trying to say, do you want to make that pass or do you want to take it on yourself? And Magoma there, after running from the halfway line, centrally of the pitch, gets to the edge of the D and just unleashes a low shot, which goes past that far post. Luckily for us, guys, it went past the post and not into the bottom corner. So we'll take that. But I think, we're going to do a little bit better there. And actually, Jacob got his hand on it by the looks of it as well. I think they're giving a corner. I thought he just kicked it past the post there. Shows what I saw. I didn't think Jacob got a finger to it. No, they've given a corner there, guys. Anyway, it's going to be played in short here, and it's come outside the 6-yard box and been cleared away well there by Leicester towards the halfway line. Norwich don't seem to be able to beat the first man from this near-hand side corner position. From the other side, they seem to be going outwards with the passes, but they're going inwards from that side. Header now from Norwich in the 6-yard box on a deep cross, picked up by Jacob again. And we've got 50.2 to 49.8 possession. It has been very much a 50-50 game when it comes to the ball, without a doubt, guys. Jacob's trying to calm everyone down now as we're going to play out from the back again here with Ben Nelson and the Coley. So a little warning shot there of what Norwich can do, especially on the break. It's very apparent to me both teams need to try and create opportunities like that. They need to pick the ball up and just be very direct at playing through the lines here. That's going to be the way to break either of these teams down, because we're quite similar in how we're approaching this. So thank you very much, Gray. Like you say on the waltzer, the more you like, the faster the ride. Hopefully for Leicester. Anyway, Norwich with the ball on halfway now, is approaching towards 27 minutes gone in this one, guys. And the ball's out of play here. Referee's been interesting today so far. He seems to be allowing a bit of the physical nature of it. We've seen a lot of little niggles and pushes here, and he's not giving it if players go down after a little push. I mean, Skip's taken a couple so far, and there's been nothing given. But to be fair to him, he hasn't given to Norwich either. So what can you say? Norwich now with the ball down at the full-back position here. It's Cordova who's going to come over halfway, the centre-back. Tries to chip it towards the D here. Cleared out by Ben Nelson, who gets a foot on it and gets it all the way back here to the central midfield and field. Central midfield and field. Didn't mean to say that. That happens to be his name. Ex-QPR midfielder. And now Norwich will lay it off back to their back three. We're not eagerly pressing them here. Looks like we're taking a minute here. It's been quite frenetic at times this game, so there's a bit of a cool-off period now as Norwich hold the ball but on their back two here. Once again, they chip a long ball forward now, trying to create a second ball opportunity at the final zone, and O'Coley's going to get his foot on it here and put it out for a throw-in. Quick throw-in from Norwich now to find Magoma in space in central midfield. Goes back across to the defenders again. We've got some good banks of four going on here, Leicester. Daka now trying to shield the centre-back out a little bit, and it's going to be Christen again down the left-hand side. Notice how Norwich, when they're playing along the ground, they're coming down the left quite a lot here. That seems to be where their focus is with Ahmed. There's a nice little touch there from Ahmed as I'm just talking about him, as he's taking it around two Leicester players there. Ricardo's getting into a bit of a physical duel with him, and the ball's going to go out of play here for a throw-in. Interesting that, because you could argue that there was a lot of pushing and actually has given a throw-in to Norwich. I thought it might have been a free kick, but he's allowing the pushes to happen here. A referee with no bias to be consistent on decision making must be a Specsavers appointment. This reminds me when we played West Brom earlier in the season, and what we saw in that game was the referee was allowing a lot of pushing and a lot of, niggly little stuff. And what happened in the last 10 minutes? Yellow cards, yellow cards, yellow cards, yellow cards. Interesting. Ball forward, Norwich trying to clip it across towards the 6-yard box, but the ball was slightly overhit and it's gone out of play for a Leicester goal kick. So we'll take that so far. Yeah, well said, Dorco. I do like it. I mean, the only thing I will say is there's a few players in our Leicester team, Skip, Ricardo, Ayew if he was on the pitch, which luckily he's not, who like to go down a bit too easy sometimes. I think when you're a player, you've got to read what the referee is going to give. I don't think you can keep trying the same madness of going down too easy, if he's not going to give it, because then you're just literally giving a chance away like we just saw in the replay here. And it was a good save from Jacob, guys. I apologise to him. I was talking about how Magoma broke through there and outside the D had got a shot towards the bottom far corner, and it was fingertips from Jacob there. Sorry for the cough there, guys. I wasn't expecting Chris to chuck in that joke there on me. Oh, I need a sip of water after that, mate. Pretty sure your missus probably did as well afterwards. Unbelievable. Norwich now coming down the far-hand side, guys. They're going to come over halfway. Their fullbacks are pushing up here to create a double-up effect on those wings. Magoma's come back, and he's doing their Mukasa role for them. He's done pretty well as well. You can see a lot of similarities with the two of them. Magoma's just slightly more physical and a bit more bulky, perhaps. Mukasa's probably got the better feet. Long ball forward from Norwich over halfway. Nelson's going to win the ball there and go back to Jacob, who's just outside of the penalty area. Lays it off to O'Coley. Yeah, I think he has. The one thing he's had to do so far, he's done really well, which is the finger save. Leicester just passing it amongst the back four here, guys. I think the thing I'd like to see him do more, once again, is that command of the 6-yard box. I think coming out and grabbing those balls when there was an opportunity to. We gave up a corner with O'Coley, which is a little bit fine margin. O'Coley read it well, but I think he could have shouted and come and got it. But then maybe if he had shouted and missed it, then it would have gone to the Norwich player and we would have conceded. So perhaps I'm being a little bit harsh there. We'll see. The main thing is we didn't concede. Long ball forward from Winks now, trying to play Fatawin over the top. And he's got over the top of him there, but Fatawin's first touch was a bit dead. And unfortunately, it's gone all the way out of play for a goal kick. Oh, dearie me. Good effort there, but that first touch has got to be better. We missed Riyad Mahrez's first touch there, don't we? Because that would have killed that ball and kept all the advantage. He broke past there, Fatawu, from a long pass down this near side, got his left foot on it, but unfortunately just kicked it completely out of play on his own. He had the number there of Chris Sen and Cordoba, the centre-back and the left-back. And like Chris has said there, guys, currently every other game in the Championship, all the 12:30s, we are at 0-0. As Norwich now are going to try and play out from the back. It looks like we've got players pressing here. Macassa's going to press the goalkeeper inside the 6-yard box. It comes down to Cordoba, who's now going to probably go long. No, he's changed his mind. He's going to go back and hold possession here. Both teams kind of feeling each other out a little periods here. Now played up to this far-hand side with Fisher, who's going to go back now to McConville, the centre-back. McConville gets his foot on it and goes long. It's interesting how Norwich will pass it around the back for a couple of times. They don't get much, much success. They then just go for a long ball every time. And that's where we can probably win a second ball and try and launch a counter-attack and we get a little bit more organised here. It's in our half now as Norwich are going to try and press up with all their players again. Back to the centre-back, who once again, McConville's going to go long. He's going to go down to Ahmed here. Ricardo's giving him a lot of room here. And there is I believe that's an offside. The referee's just blown there. Yeah, offside, luckily for us. Ahmed was offside. I'm a bit concerned how much space we're giving Ali Ahmed on this near-hand side because he's got really good feet. He's really athletic and he's got a lot of pace as well. I think we need to be getting a bit closer to him. I think Ricardo's got to do a little bit better here. I think leaving him that much room is a dangerous thing to do, especially when he's probably got your number for pace as well. Leicester are going to win the ball in centre midfield now, guys. Opportunity for a counter forward. Down to Fatawu here. Skip's trying to make the overlapping run inside. Oh, Fatawu can't get past his man again. It's one of those days. Ricardo's going to pick the ball up and we're back on halfway over Coley here. Nelson playing it forward now to the opposite side. You just get the impression every time we've had an opportunity to break through here. The last touch from normally Fatawu has not quite been there today so far. Hey, you guys, what's the news about Chowdhury's injury? Very quiet on that front, mate. Very quiet. We're not sure how bad it is, but he's not really been mentioned at all this week in a similar way to Vestergaard hasn't. So all we can assume is at the moment it's still going to be a little while till he's back in. I do wonder if knowing Gary Rowett, he'll put him at right back. We'll see if my prediction's right, if and when that happens. Here come Norwich now in the centre of midfield. They're trying to tag up here to get past Mukasa and Skip. There's a nice ball forward there. Ricardo's come centrally to win that ball. Ricardo is still getting quite far out of position here. He was sat in the defensive midfield role there, but perhaps you could argue it's a slight shape change. Fatawu now down this near-hand side, trying to cut inside again. He's going to cross it. It's hit Mukasa. Fatawu sometimes just passes it into areas and there's no one really there, which is really, really disappointing. Ben Nelson now trying to commit forward and he's given the ball away here. Sliding tackle coming from behind there and it's going to be Thomas who puts the ball out of play for for a Norwich throwing on the far-hand side just inside our half. Luke Thomas has done well today. I think when other players have got caught out as well, he's actually managed to get back and make a good tackle as well. So that's good stuff. 149 of you in, guys. Thank you very much. If you could hit the like button, we'd always appreciate it. We said it quite a bit today, but it obviously helps the channel here. And I'm going to go with the line, the more likes we get, the more chance Leicester have got to score. Come on. Norwich now with the ball back underway here. About 10 minutes to go to half-time. Leicester 0 and Norwich 0 here at the King Power. Quite a sombre atmosphere as well. Long ball forward from Norwich there. There's no one on the end of it. It's going to go out of play for a throwing right by our corner flag on the far-hand side here to Leicester. Oh, does it every game. Can't say I rate Daka, but rather him starts. At least he tries to stay on his feet. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I would say so far the difference there, Jack Southall, thanks for that comment, mate, is that I think we have seen Fatawu on one of those games where he's only really got past a man once, and then apart from that, he's been running into people and then making a pretty silly pass at the end of it, which is just into an area, but there's Norwich players reading it really well. Ball lofted over now for Norwich. There's a 1v1 here with Ahmed and Ricardo inside the penalty area. Ricardo's crossed, done a really good job there reading where that pass was going, and now Leicester are going to clear it. And I think Daka needs to be pressing a bit more. He's been a little bit stagnant, really, for me. I mean, Mukassa's done most of the pressing for us up the top of the pitch, but Daka could do some more. Here comes Chris Sen now from Norwich, left back, cutting inside to central midfield, trying to drive towards a goal. Daka there's got involved in the 50-50. Referee's going to give a free kick here to Norwich. It was slightly late, perhaps, and it was Daka on McLean. McLean's waving over at him here, saying something, but let's have a quick look. I mean, I think it was a 50-50 ball. McLean's gone down like he's been shot in the tendon there. But I'm pretty sure that was a 50-50 ball, no dissimilar to what we've seen happening with our players as well. So that's a bit harsh, really. The referee's been encouraging that type of game for this one. And now it's going to be a free kick to Norwich just inside our half here. And they've got McLean and Chris Sen looking to take this, and they'll probably get numbers forward. Yeah, well said, Gray. I think Daka's a speed merchant only when he runs. Yeah, he's not done enough running yet. I'll get into him at half-time and say, look, you've not really been helping us because we've allowed Norwich to pass the ball around the back, whereas you could be the first to press right and create that mistake. Here comes the ball in now towards the top of the penalty area, headed down towards the 6-yard box. Nelson heads it back out. Norwich got all their players forward here, including their centre-backs, looking for balls into the box. Going to be crossed in from deep again on the left-hand side here. Headed away by Ricardo. Ahmed's read that really well and got a foot on it, but it's going to be bouncing around a bit like head tennis. Going to be picked up again on this near side now, and Ahmed's going to come for Norwich. They're trying to put everything through him, aren't they? Unbelievable. And we come down again this near side for Norwich. McLean's doing the running now. 4 Leicester players on him. Fataru's gone sliding in there and got the ball. Good job. Sliding in from Ricardo as well. And it's going to go out of play for a throwing here. McLean's saying that he's been fouled there, but there was 2 or 3 players there, including Daka and Fataru, all sliding in to try and stop him there. And the brick wall of Fataru there. Oh, actually, it was a blatant foul as well. That was completely wrong from the referee. The throwing goes to Norwich anyway, though, so they're going to keep pressure on here at the near side. Ahmed comes inside now to try and find Magoma. Magoma's been really well done there by Mukasa, who put the pressure on. Skip's pass was poor, though. That was poor. Trying to play a deckled over Reed, and unfortunately didn't have enough on it. And now a bit of space down the left. Crossed in. It's hit a Cody in the chest there, and it's come all the way back out. You can say Norwich are getting better as this half goes on here. We need to kind of get a grip of this. And I think the way to do it is just to be a bit better on the counter-attack and a bit more braver. We've not seen that in this team yet. Yeah, what's the Dorco? Daka definitely needs to press more. He took his goal against Southampton very well. Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing with Daka, isn't it? It's kind of like we've got an old Ferrari engine that keeps stalling as soon as you blooming get it going, but you know it's got some pace in it if it can actually last a distance. Bit frustrating. He'd be an annoying player to manage for me. Crossing now from Norwich, 6-yard box. Nelson gets his foot behind it, and it's going to go out for a corner to Norwich here. A lot of time we're spending defending here, guys. I was hoping to see a little bit more, especially for Rowett's home game, a little bit more positive energy, especially at the top end of the pitch. But most of this, we've been having to deal with a team that looks a bit more confident than us, right? Yeah, and that's it, Gray. He can help occasionally, but right now we need everyone to be warriors in this team, right, for where we are. We need everyone to be able to put a shift in, everyone willing to sweat, blood, sweat and tears to try and keep this team in the league, you know. You're not Premier League players anymore, lads, I'm afraid. You've got to work and fight in this league. It's going to be an out-swinging corner here from the far-hand side for Norwich. It's going to get towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It bounces around and falls all the way through to Jacob, who scoops it up really nicely there. Luckily for us, no real contact off ahead there, otherwise that might have been trouble. We've got to get better at just marking that near post because they've already had one chance with Chris Garden where he's headed it just past that near-hand post, and luckily he didn't get it on target. Good shout there, Jim. I hope we see a sub JJ at half-time. That's a good one for the chat. Have you got any thoughts, guys, who you'd bring on at half-time here? We're 7 minutes away from it. JJ might not be a bad shout. I don't think Skip's having his best game, unfortunately. His passing's been off. And I think Winks has been a little bit invisible at times, but I'm not going to pick on him too soon. We prefer to, get behind him here, see if we can get a result here. Coley now brings the ball towards the halfway line, up to Nelson. 2 Norwich players pressing in, Chris Garden and Magoma. Now it's off to Skip now. He's got a bit of space here. He's going to play Fatu in down this right-hand side. Come on, Fatu, we do a bit better. He thinks it back inside to Skip. Got to be a chance for a strike here from Mukasa. No, he's got 3 players surrounding him. Winks now picks it up and tries to play a ball through, but there's so much power on it, Winks. So much power. It's scooted all the way through. It's missed Daka there, and it's gone behind for a goal kick to Norwich. Some of the passing again, guys. The passing has got to be getting better by now. I mean, the pass rate we have in the final third, we saw it in the pre-match. It's not been that great, really, has it? And it's just really, for me, just the lack of the understanding of who's going to be where, when, and making these runs. We just seem a little bit static, and teams can read us really well. Ball forward from Norwich now. There's been a bit of a falling over there between Nelson and Chris Garden. The referee's going to say nothing doing here. He is giving a lot of these, obviously, just to allow game to play on. And now Leicester are going to try and build here with Ricardo down this near-hand side. He comes back to a Cody here. Leicester 49% possession, Norwich 51% possession, 5 shots each. So pretty much a Brexit vote versus an even one so far when it comes to shooting. Decordova-Reid hasn't really got involved too much in this one either, you know. And once again, he gives the ball up there towards the Norwich defence. The one time he has got involved, he was pretty poor with his first touch, as Fataru has been at times as well. Mikasa now in the central midfield for Leicester, playing it back to Winks. Winks is going to ping a ball in here. There's a bit of space, and unfortunately, Winks again overhits it. Oh, that's so annoying. Luke Thomas made a really good run there, guys. Down that left-hand side, he put his arm up. Winks pings it in from the bottom right of the centre circle there, trying to play him in. He beats the offside trap really well, Luke Thomas, but the pass is so overhit. My goodness me. And once again, like we were talking about in the pre-match, touching the opposition box, Norwich 13, Leicester 4. And that's because our passing is so poor, guys. We notice that. We're so poor at passing. We don't seem to be able to pass away out of a blooming paper bag at times, especially in the final third or in the penalty area. And it doesn't help that every time we've used the other option, which is trying to shoot from outside the box, we haven't found Mikasa in space enough, and Fataru's ran into the man. So a difficult one so far. 42 minutes coming up here in a minute. Actually, the clocks are perfect. We're just about 41 and a half minutes into this. Still 0-0. And you could say so far there's a lot of improvement we need to make here for the second half, especially to lift the stadium here as well. All it takes is a goal. Lift the stadium and get behind them. Yeah, we need to step things up. Well said, Jim. Yeah, and that's it. Our passing is atrocious in the final third. It really is. Enzo Maresca's in the crowd, guys. Hello. All right, Enzo. He's probably watching this and going, I'd be doing this. I'd be making sure we press here. He just gave a look at it to say, like, wow, this is what this team became since I left. Interesting. Has he come down here because Top's invited him to say, do you want to manage us in League One next season? Do you reckon they really would think something like that? That's bizarre, isn't it? Anyway, Cody now playing a 1-2 with Winks here. Winks is going to have to go back towards the goal, but he's going to pass it to Nelson instead, who now goes back to Jacob. Norwich doing a really much better job at pressing us here when we're in our defensive zone, right? Long ball forward trying to play Daka. Daka can't win that header. He probably should have duelled a bit better there with Cordova. Excuse me. Yeah, possible, mate. Was. And looks like Norwich, I thought there was going to be a free kick there, but the game just stopped from it there as Norwich just held the ball and walked forward with it, and Leicester just froze in time, almost like the Matrix glitched. We'll see how much added time there is here, guys, in a minute. Getting towards this half time, I think both teams will probably accept a 0-0. Norwich will probably argue they've had the better of the opportunities here. They had a couple where they could have done better. That's a poor pass from Norwich. Here comes Decordova-Reid now. We've got to be quicker, guys. Quicker. There's an overlapping run from Thomas, but he can't beat the man, Gibbs. Gibbs comes back and does better. When we talk about championship football and how your wingers have got to come back and be secondary defenders alongside your fullback, you could argue today as well Norwich are slightly edging us in that department as well. Shown once again there with Decordova-Reid wasn't quite sharp enough. We need to be sharper in the final third. We need to raise our game because of what Norwich are doing to counter us. It is going to be a long throwing now, though, for Leicester into the penalty area. Can we snatch a goal here before half-time? Come on, good vibes, guys. Come on, let's grab this just before half-time. Going to be Luke Thomas to take it. Cody's up. Nelson's up in there. He goes in towards the 6-yard box. It doesn't quite make it. Oh, and it goes all the way through, guys. And unfortunately, it went past Fataru as well there. And there was a space at the back, but there was no players there, including Norwich players. And now Norwich have got it down here on this near-hand side with Ahmed. They switch the play immediately back up to the opposite side of the pitch here. And here they come, Norwich. A bit of a counter-attack over the halfway line. They're going to slow things up here with Field. And Field's now going to lay it off here to Fisher. And it looks like Norwich are happy to retain possession here around the halfway line. There was probably an opportunity for them to break there as well, which didn't happen here. Ball forward now, and it's going to be picked up by Ahmed again. And then Magoma's been shoved over there, and it's gone out of play, I believe, for a throw-in. I think the referee here might have given the throw-in to Norwich, which is interesting, because I think actually Magoma actually touched it out of play, but he was kind of bundled over. So did he give it because he didn't want to give a free kick? Bit weird. Thrown back into play, played around to the halfway line again for Norwich's back two here. It's going to be back now down to Cordoba, who's going to flick it forward towards the D. Cordoba loves to play a diagonal ball towards the centre of the pitch to try and mix things up. And now Magoma is going to pick up that second ball and flick it over towards Ahmed. Ricardo gets a foot on it here and clears it out down towards the byline. Fataru is going to pick it up with two men on him, and he's given the ball up again, guys. Difficult times here. Can we hold on before half-time? It certainly feels we might have to here, as Norwich have got us hemmed in a bit. Skipper's down there trying to help out, as is Daka. Ricardo's done well there to read that pass and get in there first. Now there's an opportunity for a counter, but we've got to be quick here. Getting towards 45 minutes. How much added time? Mikasa lays it up to Thomas in space on the far side. Gonna be 2 minutes out of time. Deep cross from Luke Thomas. Daka's in a duel there with Cordoba. Fataru's got space, and the referee's given a free kick to Norwich. Oh, it was a 50-50, ref. What are you doing? 50-50. Cross in from deep from Luke Thomas. Good decision there to try and get it in towards that 6-yard box. Daka goes up for it with Cordoba, and the referee has given it in favour of Norwich, which the frustrating thing is the fact that it fell to Fataru completely unmarked outside the area when the referee blew. He could have got a shot away there if the referee had allowed game to carry on. I think he should have done. Maybe because it was a head injury, I don't know, but then he's given it in the favour of Norwich, which is bizarre because it was a 50-50 duel there. Now we know why top's here for Enzo. I'm surprised he came today. Probably no protests were happening. I thought that'd be a day you wouldn't want to turn up. But anyway, we've got about a minute to go here. Macassa's now got 2 Norwich players on him as Leicester try a little flurry to finish off this half. Come on, guys. We might as well try and nick this 1-0. And I think Macassa is down here, guys, which is worrying. He's starting to get back to his feet now, luckily. And actually, Winks has knocked it out of play, even though he has got back to his feet here. Interesting how that wasn't given as a free kick. There was a little push by Fisher there. And then Fisher just kind of mopped him in the face with his hand there, guys, like that, and caught him in the eye. Update from the Championship. Derby 0, Blackburn 1. That is not what we want to hear. Derby, come on. Come on, Derby. You got... Think playoffs. Get a goal, Derby. Stop that nonsense. Just seeing Jordan James there on the bench, sat alongside Louis Page, having a nice little chat. We're getting towards half-time, guys, but the whistle hasn't gone yet. It's gone all the way back to Jacob here. Norwich decided to give it back to our goalkeeper after we kicked it out of play. I don't know why we did really, because he got back up, to be honest. That seems a bit bizarre. Jacob's now saying, go forward, guys. We might as well kick it long, but he's taken about 30 seconds to take this. Kicks it in. It's going to go down towards Fataru on the far side. It's be headed easily clear by Norwich towards halfway. Macassa picks a second ball up. Daka's going to try and fight for this again. Here comes Fataru down this near side. Cuts inside a bit earlier. There's a lot of Norwich shirts there, but now Ricardo on an overlap. Ricardo crosses it in towards the back post. Too much on it again, guys, and it's out of play for a goal kick. I think that's going to be the last action of the half any second now, but frustrating. And there goes the half-time whistle. Chris, you want to bring back into the studio, mate? Half-time, Leicester 0, Norwich 0.
I will indeed, sir. You go, and I'm glad you didn't read out my typo earlier because I said 3 shits each.
I've always got your back, mate. I've always got your back anyway. But there we go. I'll see you in about 10 minutes.
I will indeed, and I shall bring Wayne in. We always struggle with this. There we go. So, Wayne, 0-0. Blackburn scoring, for fuck's sake, on the 46th minute. Carter scoring for them. How are you feeling after that first half?
I was feeling brilliant until you told me that Blackburn had scored a goal, Chris. Then again, they were 1-0 up in the last game, weren't they? So, and they are playing Derby, so I've got faith in Derby.
Yeah. What has Leicester done to Fatawu? Feel for the lad. I think this is the thing, though, isn't it? It's a good point made there, because what have we done to a lot of these players?
Yeah, I think the season's damaged a lot of players, really. You know. Yeah, I think Abdul's hot and cold, really. I mean, the camera's caught him chuntering a couple of times under his breath. So he's done that quite a bit this season, which shows his head's probably not in the right place. And a few of us have said maybe he looks that way this season. But I mean, we do look organised, don't we, Chris? Do you think we look well organised?
Yes. I mean, and Luke's decided to completely confuse me here and come in at half time. Let me just put a thing up here. There he goes. I wasn't expecting that.
I enjoyed the half so much I just had to come in. I thought there wasn't too many people in. I can jump on full time if it's a issue.
I'm sure Wayne, won't mind. Yeah, and it's nice. Wayne, it's nice to have the angry Aussie back, isn't it?
It is. Let's get some passion involved in it. I mean, it's a bit pedestrian, the game, really. Not the second half against Middlesbrough was like a basketball game, but this is very different, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. I mean, Luke, your thoughts on the first half?
I actually quite enjoyed it, to be honest with you. I really liked the first 20 minutes. There was about a 10-minute spell between 20 to 30 where I think we lost a bit of momentum there, but I thought we clawed back into it the last 5 minutes. I think the only issue is the defense still scares me at times, particularly Okoli. He's still clearly got that bozo gene. He had a few really good moments, to be fair, but he had one ridiculous pass that filled me of such dread that we're going to concede. But fortunately, we didn't. I think, to be honest with you, if only I had one gripe of one player that I would like to have come off, it would actually be Fatawu, to be honest with you, lads. I think he's been absolutely honking this half.
Do you think, I mean, this was a question we were talking with when you came in, do you think that as a club we've ruined a lot of players, and I think it stands out more on the flair players like the Mavridis and the Fataroos?
I got a good question for you, actually. I'll give this one to Wayne because I think I know his answer, and I think I know you guys don't like tippy-tappy football, but do you think, like, to a certain extent, players like, let's say, Fatawu, they need flair? That's obviously why they score those amazing goals, but to a certain extent, they need to be somewhat regimented because he can be way too chaotic. He looks too desperate to win the ball back. Looks like he's going to get booked. He's all over the place. There was one brilliant passage of play where he could have squared the ball up to Skip, who made an absolutely brilliant box-crashing run in the half space, and instead he's absolutely thumped it long. I don't know. What do you think, Wayne? Do you think somewhat to an extent Fatawu needs a bit of control? Because, I hate to bash it, but he was not good for me.
I think he struggled this season. I think our wingers have really struggled helping the defence out, exposing the defence. But it's interesting, I thought, has Luke had a boner in the first half when the camera showed Enzo in the crowd? You see him in the crowd, Luke, Enzo.
I wanted to talk about that, actually. Did you see that too, Chris?
No, I missed that. I saw somebody mention Enzo in the chat, but I hadn't seen it. I mean, I'm typing scores and everything and bits in the chat. No, I didn't see him in the
Bit of a conspiracy. Wayne, I genuinely think that McCarthy is the worst case secret that we know that probably most likely Enzo will be the next coach of Man City once Pep retires, if he does or he leaves. I genuinely think McCarthy is going to slot into that team at some point. I think that Enzo is possibly just scout watching. Unless there's some reason why he's there, I genuinely think he's having a look at that lad because he's destined to play Premier League football next season for City or for someone else. He's a brilliant footballer, and I think him and Winks controlled that game massively in the midfield.
Yeah, it's interesting, McCaster, isn't it? Because I'm going down to watch Newcastle under-21s and against the Villa game as well. Watch the Chelsea game, and the guys from your Man Cities and Chelsea, the under-21s, they are really high quality. And McCaster, game after game, he just has the ball at his feet. He can just emerge with the ball. It looks simple, but he's just fully aware where he is, and you can see he could definitely play. Well, he's breezing in the Championship, isn't it? So he could definitely play in the Premier League. And yeah, it's interesting because when I saw him, I thought, why is he here? Who is he here to watch?
Well, the rumours are, like Luke said, he is odds-on favourite to go in after Pep. Now, there's a lot of questions, or there was earlier in the season, because Pep's got another season at the end of this one on his career at Man City, but there's talk that he might be leaving at the end of this season, in which case Enzo would go in. I mean, where was he sat? Was he sat with Top and all of those?
I think he was sat with our assistant, wasn't he, Wayne? I think he was. What's that Southampton goalie that was his assistant? I swear he was sitting next to him. I forgot his name, sorry.
I don't think he sat with Top and Woodkin. I'm sure he wasn't.
No.
I mean, if he was here to talk to them, you'd think he would be sat with them, don't you? And I don't think Enzo is the guy we need to get us out of this, whether we stay up or go down. Go down, let's face it, he's never going to come back. Would he come back? You could argue that he's the one that started it all off, but
it'd be interesting if Rowett knew he was there. He'd probably thinking, what the fuck's he doing here?
I'm surprised he didn't have glasses and a little false nose and moustache on, But I'm not convinced I'd want him back anyway. Anybody else?
He won't come back. I think it's absolutely wishful thinking. There's no point. I am actually quite happy now with Rowett in charge. I don't. I know that a lot of people are complaining about that half, and I can understand why. But I think we look a lot more settled. I think the defense still scares me, but like he's getting a tune out of these players. There's a lot more fight. There's a lot more. I don't want to waffle on too much, but I'm happy with Rowett now. There's no reason why Enzo would be coming at any point for the remaining 11 games.
You're Australian. That's what you do, waffle. I
Yeah.
mean, do you like your picture, by the way? There.
Yeah, I did. I showed the wife. She thought it was cute as well.
Hi, Steph. I know she's probably not in the room with you there, unless you've moved where your camera is in your house.
No.
But I mean, look, the defence. I keep saying this. Yes, Norwich have been on top, and in fairness, you'd expect them to be on top because they're the higher placed team. But under Cifuentes, I don't think we'd be going in at 0-0.
No, I mean, Norwich are really cute with the ball. They're trying to get into the half spaces. They are patient. Like Tom's been saying, they're going to rise up the table, and he's spot on, to be honest. But I think it's just organisation. We're catching people offside more than we used to do, so that shows the defence is organised. But I do think that we're just not looking after the ball. I mean, when Winks chipped that beautiful ball over the top for Abdul, he caught it on the half volley. If he'd have put it into it, but he just run out. So you could see what I wanted to do. But it's just in and around the box. We just not joining those few quality passes. Winks punched the ball to Daka, which was too hot for him, really. And I think if we can get that sorted out, I think we should, look, we was crapping our pants, weren't we, looking at Middlesbrough and Norwich coming up. But we're in both games. And yeah, it's encouraging because he's dealing with exactly the same players. Exactly the same players.
Sorry, mate. I kept thinking you stopped. Luke, let me ask you about Ricardo. Okay. He has looked our weakest link at the back. 3 games in in a week, you could say 8 days. I mean, we were being told he couldn't play 2 in 2. Does he need to come off?
It's funny you say that because that's the oldest conversation of the book of Ricardo because of his injury record and even more intense now of his age. I've been saying for the last 2 games he should, but he's not been too bad, but definitely a pace. Like maybe we were wrong all along about Cooper not playing him because apparently he's come out behind closed doors and said he was cooked back then. But I do think he at least needs to come off 60, 70-minute mark just purely for energy. And hopefully we'll see Buddy Aluko come on. And Wayne pointed out something very important, by the way. That was, I think, 3 offsides that we played in about 25 minutes. The offside trap was in full effect again the Stoke game. Not so much the Borough. We're a bit more deeper in that game, but I think that's one good thing with Gary Rowett's got to set up. And hopefully, when he's available, we don't slot Vestergaard into the side purely for that reason, because I think it would be our downfall.
Would you Wayne? What changes would you make, if any?
I wouldn't at the moment. I'd get what Luke's saying. I think Ricardo one-on-one, he is exposed, and people can run by him almost at will. But I think position. I think going forward, I can see why he's played, and we are thin on the ground. But yeah, a lot of players won't be hopefully be in the squad next season. But Rowett's got them organised. We don't look overrunning the last 2 games. For these last couple of games, I've not felt a panic or a dread or worry.
Well, I'm going to say I have in this game when the ball's gone down to Ricardo's side because he's being outdone for pace. Last 2 games he's been fine, but he's being our 21 versus their number 21 apparently, and he's being done literally for space every single time. It's Ahmed that's doing him. Would you not change him straight away, Luke?
Ricky P, no, I doubt it. I don't think we've seen Rowett make a halftime change yet. I would definitely be thinking about it. The only time I get proper anxiety in defence is when we see a set piece come from Ricardo's side, like from a corner towards the far post near Luke Thomas. There was one moment where I forgot who it was, got a free header, and he was the smallest bloke on the Norwich side, and that really pissed me off. So I still get a little bit of squeaky bum time when it comes from a corner or anything like that. But other than that, I think Ricky P, give him 10 minutes, and then, definitely bring on Buddy Aluko.
They just showed the Blackburn goal here. It was a free kick. Oh, the guy. Yeah, it was in the line with all the Derby players, Carter, and he just got up there and had the freedom of the pitch. I've got to say, yeah, I loved your message to me earlier. Luke messaged me and goes, and I swear. I've never known you ask before. I was quite taken aback. Can we win? Well, yeah. First of all, Luke, what was your score prediction at the start?
2 Leicester, 1 to Norwich. I still don't think we're going to get a clean sheet, particularly if Stalacic can go.
That's what I went. I don't think we'll get a clean sheet. Guys, can we win this?
Not if we don't connect better around the box, because we have been very poor in that area. Almost like snatching at chances. It's going to be interesting what Rowett says at half-time, how we sorts that problem out, because I don't think we've had a really good clear chance. It's a shame because we've got the players to do it. So, yeah, he needs to change things. I don't know how he's going to do it. He needs to change things up a little bit.
Yeah, Luke Swear never says great, and he thinks we can still win. And 876 says here why Richard is not in the squad. He's been dropped apparently because there's more mature and experienced players, is what the Leicestershire Live said earlier. Great thinks we can win it. What changes would you make up front very quickly then? Because Tom is back.
Just quickly, I would make eventually, obviously, Bade, but up top, eventually, I think both our wingers have been poor, more so for Tau. I would 100%, the changes I want to see is JJ come on for Skip at some point in the game, and I would love to see Mavadidi and Monk come on each side of the wing. They're the changes I'd make. And then maybe the last 10, 15 minutes, I'd put on the cells for a Coley. They're all the subs I'd like to see. And
the good news is Formula One's back next week.
Yuck.
Yes. Who knows? We tried doing that once. We may do it again. It's over to you, Tom. We'll see everybody at full time. Tom will take you through the second half.
Cheers, guys. Thank you very much. Good halftime show there, guys. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, going to be an interesting one, this, isn't it? Because it feels like a game we very much can still win, but it's definitely going to be a battle, isn't it? It looks like from open play we're struggling in the final third. I do wonder if it's one of those games like the Sheffield Wednesday one we started the season with, where it's going to be we need to make the most of set pieces. We're underway here. Norwich are going to be kicking this time from left to right, and we're going from the right to the left as Norwich get us underway. You can see on screen there, we are in the second half. Long ball forward by Leicester towards the Norwich goalkeeper, who's just going to take it down with his feet and take a minute here. We're not pressing up towards the edge of the penalty area. As soon as we get about 2 or 3 yards out, Daka and Mukasa seem to hold back a little bit here, guys. What's with Tom's medieval cap? My hair's in a mess, mate. I've needed a haircut for a long time. If I take it off, it just goes bump everywhere. So I'm going for the helmet. There's a bit of pressure from the pelters that we could get a full time if we end up losing this game, right? Going to be a throw to Norwich here on the far-hand side towards our goal, and it's going to play down towards the halfway line to Cordova. And Cordova's now going to try and lay it off here again to the left-back Chris Sen, who is actually hobbling here, guys, after that. It doesn't look like he's going to come off, but he did look like to tweak something there. And now we're going to go all the way back to the Norwich goalkeeper. Here comes Mukasa pressing the keeper. That's the first time we've seen a Leicester player press a goalkeeper in this. I don't know if Rowett said to them, you're going to have to press a bit more here, guys, and try and get a little bit more action towards their goal almost. But you could definitely argue Norwich should look the better of the two teams, as here comes a counter-attack from them now, as I say that. Here's Fisher, the fullback, coming inside, and it's going to be out to the right side, crossed in by Gibbs. It comes off the foot of Nelson there, and it's going to not make it as far as the 6-yard box. But Norwich are still keep trying to win this second ball. We can't seem to get a grip of it at the moment. We now do with Skip, and it's back to Bobby Cordova-Reid, who's back there helping out. And now off to Winks, who's going to lay it back to Okoli. So big 45 minutes here, guys. Big 45 minutes. Fatu needs to stay on the pitch. Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to get a little bit better. I'd definitely say he needs to do a little bit more, because he's having one of those games today where he's not really getting past the first man, and then he's not really making a wise decision with the final third either. There's a great point, I think, from Luke at halftime where he was talking about how we utilise Fatawu. And I think in some ways we need to simplify his game for him and just, tell him just do this, because he seems sometimes to be doing too much and getting himself in a mess, really. Back to Jacob now in the Leicester goal. He's going to kick it down here to Nelson as we hold on to the ball between our back four. Thomas is pushing up here halfway into our half, lays it off to Skip, who's going to try and play through Norwich here. They're coming back here, but they're keeping Magoma and Kussgarden up there towards the top of the pitch. Back to Ben Nelson and across to Akoli here. I'd like to see a little bit more urgency at times from this. I think Norwich are doing a better job at being more urgent and just knowing they'll win a second ball, right? Here it comes down to Declan Dover-Reid, though, on his far-hand side. He's going to cross it towards the back of the 6-yard box, headed on by the Norwich centre-back then. It's going to go out of play for a corner to Leicester to start this second half. Unbelievable stuff. That was a bit better. Declan Dover-Reid finally found a bit of room there. He's been a bit anonymous at times in that first half. Gets the cross in with his right foot there, dinks it towards the far side of the 6-yard box. Daka trying to go up for a header and cleared behind there by Chris Sen. And it's going to be a short corner here, just to the edge of the penalty area for Fatawu. He's going to lay it off to Winks again. Sorry, Thomas it is. He's taking it. And now here comes Fatawu again. He's going to take it past Fisher there. He's got a foot on it and it's gone behind here for another corner. He's given a goal kick. He's kicked it off Fatawu there. He's getting high fives from all his teammates for kicking it off Fatawu. Terrible stuff. Well said, Gray. Get the songs out, guys. We need to get a bit of noise in the stadium as well. Fatawu saying, why wasn't that a corner here? We're going to see it again on a replay. He drags it around with his right, and it should have been a corner. It didn't touch Fatawu. He's entirely right there, I think. Oh, no, actually, no. I changed my mind. Actually, it is very difficult to get those decisions right. It could have caught the foot of Fatawu as well on the way out. But anyway, we need to do a little bit better here. Long ball forward now, trying to find Fatawu again. Bear in mind we're trying to find him so much. He's got to do a bit better, and he's gone down way too easy there in a 50-50 duel. And Norwich are now going to come away with the ball here towards halfway and try and launch a counter-attack. Nelson's going to marshal things alongside Akoli. Goes back to Jacob here. Need lead jobber on the drums. Well said, mate. God bless Lee. What a man. Long ball forward from Leicester now, but there's no one there. It's going to be pinged down towards halfway in the Norwich half, and it's gone out of play for a Norwich throwing here. It's all well and good doing that, but we've got to be able to compete and try and win a ball here, right? We seem a little bit shaky. I do wonder if we can see the goal here. We might get in our own heads a little bit, which would be difficult. We need to really try and get on the front foot here somehow. And here we pick the ball up again on halfway. Coming forward now with Ricardo, trying to tag up again with Fatawu. I wouldn't mind switching the play a bit more here. We're very slow at switching the play, and the game is quite narrowed down one of the channels normally. It's the way both teams are playing. Norwich are just a little bit better at making that decision to switch it earlier and find that space, which we haven't done today so far. Interesting to see if there will be any changes coming up. I like the discussion at halftime. We're just seeing the chairman of the board there alongside his best mate, John Rudkin. I'm not going to say any more than that, but they are in the stadium. Going to be a free kick to Leicester here as Ricardo is bundled over there. And it's just inside the Norwich half on the far-hand side touchline. It's going to be played short, not going to be an opportunity to get players forward here. Nelson's now going to finally switch to play, and it's going to be Declan Dover-Reid here trying to come back inside. Plays it across to Skip. Skip's got a pass there, which he's made there. A nice one-touch there by Winks, but unfortunately, once again today, Winks' passing has not quite been there. We lose possession, and Skip is going to bring down the Norwich player for a free kick to Norwich. So, once again, we are not connecting with these final third passes in the slightest, unfortunately. We just seem slightly a yard off the pace of what Norwich would do in a similar position. And those little inches and little things can make a difference in this as Norwich get the game back underway here. Massive 45 minutes for us in the context of our season. A draw is a draw, but it won't be enough. A clean sheet, yeah, it's a clean sheet, but we are at the point where we need to see some better forward play because, as it was said in the chat as well, we are a bit toothless going up towards their goal. Ricardo now trying to play a 1-2 with Fatawu again, and we've given the ball up. Oh, and I heard a weird beat playing. I'm not sure if that was Chris. Sounded like the airport was inviting me to the gate. Here come Norwich now, and Magoma's taking it through Akoli, and he's going to get a strike away, and it's a good save there from Jacob. He was going down, but it went straight into his chest, and it's going to go behind for a Norwich corner. A little bit of breakdown there at the back for Leicester, and it was Ricardo and Akoli by the looks of it. We see now there's a lot of space. Ricardo committed forward, and then he couldn't have the physicality to match up to Magoma. There was a foot in there from Skip, and unfortunately allowed Magoma to get away again. He got past Akoli quite easily there, and Jacob covered his near post well, got his chest on it, and managed to keep it out there. Bay Casper Schmeichel S, and it's going to go behind for the Norwich corner. Oh, difficult stuff. once again, in the final third, it just looks like they've got that little bit more of energy when it comes to making those passes and those final decisive balls, and they're running as well. And Magoma's got that edge of physicality that he can use in that attacking mid position that we probably haven't got. We've got more skill at the feet of Mikasa. Getting ready for this corner to come in now. Everyone's crowded around the penalty area here. Everyone's having a bit of a mosh pit. Here it comes in, deep and crossing towards the far post. Header on it by a Norwich player. It bounces around. Fatu is going to take it down and put his foot through it and clear it all the way to halfway. So we've dealt with another Norwich corner at least here, guys. And now they're going to play all the way back to the goalkeeper as Mikasa has sprinted the whole length of the pitch there and closed down their goalkeeper to put a bit of pressure on. That's a bit more like it. We need to see more players doing things like that in the second half. We need to at least match Norwich for their energy, because otherwise it will just complete slanting in towards their favour, right? Ball out of play on the far hand side near our corner flag here for a Leicester throw. And we're seeing here Mavadidi stripping off, getting ready for maybe a change here. So it looks like Gary might try and refresh things here a little bit. I can hear Leicester to Wi-Fi. Well done, Chris. That's what we need around the stadium and in the chat, guys. Norwich are in the penalty area here, and they're going to get a strike away. Ben Nelson gets his foot on it there to block it, and it's going to go out maybe. No, it's staying in play. The swerve on the ball, and now it's been cleared behind off a Norwich player, and it's going to be a goal kick to Leicester. The ball had a wicked spin on it then. I think we thought it was going to go out of play on the far. And well said, Jim. We need to get some speed and quickness on the pitch. Definitely a time for the noise, guys. Bring the noise in the chat. Come on. Keep hitting that like button as well, guys, if you haven't already. We really appreciate it. Leicester now got the ball, and there's a nice pass there to Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas coming in the middle here. There's 4 Norwich players back. Space with Decordova-Reid on the left. He's going to play him. Decordova-Reid tries to cross it in. It deflects off a Norwich player into the hands of the goalkeeper, Kovacevic there. I've probably said his name 2 or 3 different times this game so far. That's unfortunate. That was an opportunity. But once again, where was the commitment in the final third for someone to get on the end of that? Unbelievable. Yeah, well said there, Steve. I think that's a lot of it. Oh, and there's been a little bit of a mix-up there. We could have got the ball, but the Kovacevic has actually picked it up in the chaos, and we nearly finally picked up a second ball there inside their penalty area. But now Norwich will try and launch back at us quickly here. They seem very up for this. So Cody's done a good tackle there on Magoma, and now we're going to try and come away here. 50-50 again, which is a battle, which the referee's not going to give as Ricardo hits the deck. Sorry, Fatawu did there. My apologies. And now Norwich will kind of come and invert the play on the other side with Fisher, who's a nice layoff there to Gibbs. Going to be a potential cross here. Crescen's come over as well. The left back and the right back are on the same side of the pitch here now, tagging up. And there's going to be a bit of a duel there going on, which the ball has fallen back to Norwich again. It was Luke Thomas there trying to get his foot on it. Norwich just seem to be mopping up every second and third ball in our final zone right now, which is worrying. And in big news, Derby have equalised against Blackburn, guys. Never thought we'd be happy about that, but well done, Derby. Come on, you've got your playoffs to think about here, as the ball's going to go behind for another corner to Norwich. Bit of pressure at the start of this second half, guys. Who we need on, he can pass, he can score. Yeah, Jordan James, I'd agree with that. And well said, Andreas there. I think we definitely need to bring some new energy into this now. I would definitely, I think Bobby Decordova-Reid is one we can consider here. Yeah, and Daka there got into a duel with the goalkeeper. They're just showing it again on the replay, and unfortunately, he got his foot on it and won the ball. But the Norwich goalkeeper then managed to grab it when there was an opportunity. Here comes that in-swinging corner out towards the 6-yard box. There's a great punch from Jacob there. Falls to the edge of the penalty area. It's hit by McLean. It's been blocked. Skip gets his head on it there, trying to clear it. But unfortunately, it's a poor header, and it's going to come down to this near-hand side now. We've got Thomas and Winks down there, and it's crossed in, and it's going to be dipping towards the goal. Oh, my word, as Jacobs picked that out of the sky. It looked like it was across towards the back post. It looked like the wind or the spin on the ball took it centrally into the 6-yard box. It dipped down towards the underside of the crossbar, and Jacob had to duel with it there with the Norwich player and won that duel and grabbed it. He tried to launch a counter-attack as well, guys, but unfortunately, we've given the ball up straight away again. Hard work, this Leicester team sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, that's right, Dorco. It did start at F-bar down on Walnut Street. It did, yeah. And it was shown on Sky Sports walking to the ground with a big banner saying King Power out. So that was on television today. Norwich now, the Cody there has gone in there and clipped Magoma. You would argue, referee, that's a 50-50 there because they're both going for the same ball. But unfortunately, a Cody is in the book now, guys, for that. I imagine Gary said to him, look, he's a physical presence. You're going to have to match up against him. Hey, look, it was a heavy hit. It was a hockey check he just gave him, But let's be honest, he's been allowing that in this game so far. So the yellow card, surprisingly, has happened there. And as I've said, Cordova-Reid could come off. He has come off, and it's Mavrodidi on, guys. So Mavrodidi on here. Cordova-Reid is off, and that's the first change for this. Come on, Steffi, you can have a big 30 minutes for us here as we approach 60 minutes now on this one. Could Jacob have caught it? Maybe, but I think he did well enough to in the first one, Chris. Now there's going to be a set-piece opportunity for Norwich here. They've got the full-backs up again, the centre-backs forward here. We've got a line of 8 or 9 Leicester players here trying to play them offside. It's halfway inside our half. It's played short instead by Norwich. Now it's clipped into the penalty area. Head on it for McCody there. And Ricardo there and Fatawu tag up and they get it away down towards the byline. But here come Norwich again now. Magoma again running into Ricardo there and claiming it's a free kick. The ball's bouncing around outside the 6-yard box, but Leicester are going to clear it. Magoma's becoming a bit of a wind-up merchant this half. He's using his physicality here. And now Cody's just going to kick it out of play for a throw into Norwich here on the far side. He's giving daggers towards Jacob there and saying, why didn't you come and get that? Why did you literally leave me in a difficult spot there? Starting to see some fragmentation perhaps in the boys, which is not what we need to see. Maybe go for another change as well, because it seems we're getting overrun in certain places. Norwich from the throw-in go back towards the halfway line with the ball, and they're going to retain possession here. Oh, I'm loving that Maresca's in the stands watching. It's a bizarre one, that, isn't it? You wonder, is he come on his own accord just to watch a game of football, or has he been invited? If he's been invited, it could be really misinterpreted badly by Rowett, that, couldn't it? Remember when Nigel Pearson used to get a bit upset about certain managers being invited in the stadium? Let's not forget, Rowett's only on a short deal here. It doesn't really give you much security, does it? Norwich in the penalty area now with Magoma again, and Jacob that time is shouted well. It's been shielded by Skip, and he's picked up the ball and killed the attacking play there. Ooh, frenetic stuff here. Probably more in favour of Norwich so far, it's got to be said. Here we go now with Luke Thomas now trying to play forward. Mavrodidi gets his first action in this half and goes all the way back to Ben Nelson here. Been another goal at Derby, Chris, and it is... We're just seeing it. Oh, no, I think actually they're not showing it. They've made a mistake here. I think they were going to show the equalising goal on screen there as well. But there we go. It's still back with a Leicester back 2 here, and it's been passed back to the goalkeeper. Why do I think Maresca's there? Honestly, mate, I have no idea, honestly. I mean, it could be as simple as what was also being said at half-time. Right? Maybe it's more likely he's going to be the new Man City manager, whatever happens. And you're thinking if they did get relegated in the points deduction, he'd probably want that job, wouldn't he? Maybe he's keeping an eye on Mikasa. Could be, does he want to watch a game of football? Because he's out of work. Here come Leicester now with Daka overlapping. Sorry, no, it was Fatawu. He's gone down there and it's going to be a corner because Cordova got his foot on it. No, they've given a free kick and they've put Cordova. Looked to me similar to the one with Cody, that where you go, it's a bit 50-50, a bit hard, but if you're allowing that sort of play, what is it? But anyway, we're going to get a free kick here just on the top edge of the penalty area. Fatawu there had 2 players on him. He took it round. Oh, it was a blatant foul. What am I talking about? My apologies. I only saw it late there. But yeah, Cordova literally dragged his foot all over Fatawu, realising he couldn't keep up with him for pace. And now we've got this free kick opportunity, literally 2 yards out, halfway inside the penalty area from the top side of the pitch. Still 1-1. Calm down, John Motson. Well said, mate. It is. They were trying to show a replay, and I thought Derby had scored again, so let's get it inside. Mukasa's standing over this. He's going to in-swing it in. We're very close to the goal here, guys. Bookings 1 each for either team now. 1 for Akoli, 1 for Cordova. Cross comes in from Mukasa towards the 6-yard box. Unfortunately, it couldn't be won there by Akoli, who was hovering at the back post. Head on it by Norwich. Luke Thomas drills it back in across here towards the far side. Nelson can't get on that. And now Norwich might have a break on here. Strike from distance from Leicester. And it's gone really, really poorly wide there. I think it was a case of get the strike on that ball there first time from Winks. Or if you miss it, there's probably a counter-attacking opportunity for the away team there. Good question on who the next West Brom manager will be, mate. I mean, there was links to Rooney, there was links to all sorts, wasn't there? Substitutions for Norwich, guys, on the arrow mark. And we're going to see here coming off is going to be Magoma, the guy who was doing all the physical press for them, which is interesting, in that attacking mid position. And we're going to see is about to come on here. Is Magoma coming off for Slilman in attacking mid. And we've got Kvistgarden coming off, which is interesting. And he's going to be replaced by the young striker Mundell Smith. So a couple of changes for Norwich here. It's going to be interesting to see how this affects the game. I'm surprised they've gone for Magoma off. I think he was looking very threatening for them, especially the physicality he was bringing to those attacking mid positions. I think that was something we were struggling to deal with, no doubt about it. So interesting how they've decided to mix it up and Slilman's come on here. Not Slilmani, Slilman. Similar name. And Mundell Smith as well is an interesting change as well. He's not got as much experience as Chris Garden, there's no doubt about it. But Norwich, of course, are already down Torre for one striker who's been playing very well for them, and Sargent's joined Toronto FC. Ball back with Leicester now, with Cody here and Ricardo. Plays it back to Jacob. Well said, Jim. A Fox's goal will unite the fans. I think that's right. Nelson now's going to play a 1-2 with the goalkeeper here, as there's a bit of a press from Mundell Smith to get his game underway for Norwich. Interesting. Both teams are kind of setting up now, looking for the other team to do something, and then they're going to try and press them. Here we go. Nelson bringing the ball forward towards the halfway line. Dinks it in there nicely to Mavididi. Skip then flicks it up a high, and Luke Thomas was looking to overlap. Unfortunately, the accuracy wasn't there, but Skip can win the ball again now. Luke Thomas playing a nice 1-2 in the middle here. Here comes Mavididi, trying to pass it through the legs of a Norwich player. Doesn't work. Tries again to pick the ball up. It does work. Here comes Thomas back across, and we're going to go back to the centre-back position and Nakoli, who stood on the halfway line. Definitely a slightly higher press from Leicester in this second half, guys. Could be Marty, yeah. Maybe, mate. Here we go now with Mavididi. Luke Thomas is overlapping a lot more this half, which is interesting. You can see Ricardo's pushed up into the central mid. Interesting how the strategy doesn't seem too dissimilar from what we've seen under Marty in regard to how you use your fullbacks. The left one's overlapping. Ricardo is inverting and coming into form of midfield 3 with Skip and Winks. And now Ricardo's gone ahead of Skip and Winks as we're trying to play down that side. We don't want to give the ball up there, Ricardo out of position. And as I say that, Ricardo has won a free kick for us there. And it's going to be maybe a yellow card here. No, the referee's not going to give a yellow card. He's just saying it was a free kick. And Ricardo's been helped to his feet here by Skip. So just inside the Norwich half here, we're going to have an opportunity. Are we going to set up for one here? I think that was 50-50, wasn't it? I mean, he caught the ball first. It was Field coming in there for Norwich, and he caught the ball, but the follow-through did catch Ricardo, who went down like he'd been shot. We'll take it. Crossing now quickly from Leicester. Daka's in. Oh, and he's gone for a strike and missed the ball. Oh, it was played over the top, and Daka went to hit it first time. Was he broken through the defence, guys? And he completely whiffed it, missed the ball, and the goalkeeper just grabs it innocently, and it's going to be the chance gone. Norwich now up towards our goal, which ironically. Yeah, well said, Chris. Yeah, well said, mate. We just don't know. It's probably not the club's invited him. It's probably just come on his own accord, maybe. We just don't know, do we? That's the thing, right? Norwich are going to have a throwing halfway inside the Leicester half now. And there's been a little bit of talking to here with Fisher, who I think is going to go in the book here. Didn't quite see who got booked there, but something was said. And now Gibbs and Thomas are having a little discussion down here on this side. Going to see again on the replay. Oh, there was a little push from Luke Thomas there as the ball went out of play on Gibbs. And then Gibbs went to take the throw, and Thomas kept just niggling him a little bit. Well done, Luke. Give him a little, just nothing too much. Oh, no, and he's booked Luke Thomas. What? There's nothing in that, ref. That's part of the football. Luke Thomas was basically trying to stop, basically, that throw coming in. And he's told him to F off there, you can see as well. Oh, I think that's part of football, right? Okay, he was interfering with play, I guess. Maybe that's me being the Jose Mourinho in the room and saying I quite like that. But yeah, Luke Thomas has gone in the book there, guys. Anyway, the ball's going to be on the opposite side of the pitch now for Norwich. Liam Gibbs has also gone in the book, though. So that's interesting. He's booked both of them for that. So at least it was fair. He's booked both of them for being silly there. It's back with the Norwich goalkeeper now anyway. Played down to Chrisen. Going to play forward. Long ball from Norwich. There's no one there. It's going to go all the way through to Ricardo, who is really central here. We're really leaving a lot of space on that side, which is interesting. Especially bear in mind Ahmed's been so dangerous there for them so far. Jacob picks the ball up. He's playing a 1-2 with Nelson here. Bit concerned about passing around the back because Norwich are really eager to win the second ball there. Winks now trying to play through the middle and finds all the way up to Fatawu. Fatawu's first touch gives it to a Norwich player. And I think it was out of play. But it's been given as a Norwich throwing anyway because it was already out of play before Field tried to keep it in play there, guys. 65 minutes gone, still 0-0. You can argue a bit of a boxing match, just back and forth. Periods of the game where both teams are retaining the ball amongst their defence and then trying to play through. And then Norwich more likely to go a bit longer than Leicester. Rowett's looking a little bit frustrated here, especially with the fourth official. How about let's draw the remaining games we start? But it was the Oxford United strategy with Rowett, wasn't it, Gray? And unfortunately, they sacked him for it. Norwich are in here. There's a one-on-one. Jacob's been gone past him. Oh, and it's a sliding tackle there from Ricardo to save the day. Guys, that happened so quickly. Ahmed, the guy I was talking about in the danger there, and he is offside, luckily, as well, so it wouldn't have counted. What happened there? A bit of chaos. Long ball from the Norwich centre-back there. Ahmed was just offside by the looks of it, although you could argue maybe Ben Nelson was playing him on. The line was just past the halfway line. He got played in, had to run half the half, and then out come Jacob there, diving in with his feet, misses the player luckily because we brought him out. He might have got sent off for that, and it allowed time for Ricardo to get back and make a desperate sliding tackle on Ahmed to stop him putting the ball in the empty net. The offside flag was playing Dakar in that way, right? As you can hear in the background. Norwich have got the ball halfway now, passing back around. I would clap, but I've got a handful of a microphone. Here come Norwich again, though. It's all one-way traffic here, isn't it? A bit of space here, and Nicoli's got to choose which man to mark. Ahmed plays the ball into the 6-yard box. It's going to be a strike. Great save from Jacob. Oh, my word. That should have been a goal for Norwich, guys. That's the clearest cut opportunity of the game there. And Jacob has gone full Kasper Schmeichel, guys. It was Sloman, the new guy who's come on, the deflected shot, and it came away. Luckily, it was on the right side for Jacob to get down, make the instinctive save. That is one of his strengths. It was from just inside the penalty area. Leicester body's there, but there was a little bit of chaos there at the back. The shape was not right. The tracking was not good. And Norwich now have got a little bit of a bee in their bonnet as they try and play another long ball forward. Nicoli's going to hoof it into the crowd and give Norwich a throw on the far-hand side. Wow, dearie me, guys. It's looking more and more ropey as this goes on, isn't it? Oh, I don't know if Begovic would have saved that, interestingly enough. Maybe it was a twist of fate in our favour, seeing what happened pre-match. Now Norwich going to come down this near-hand side, and it's going to be Fisher who comes back, and they're going to be crossing towards the 6-yard box. Foot on it there from Nelson. Norwich trying to pass into the penalty area. They get a strike away, and it's into the back of the net, guys. It's 1-0 Norwich. It was coming. They couldn't get a grip. It's a strike from the man off the bench, Sloman, and it is Leicester 0, Norwich 1. Oh, yesterday all my troubles seem so far away. Oh, my word. And well said there. We now got to score 2 goals, and it looked like we're struggling to score 1. And unfortunately, it's deserved. It was coming. You could just see we were starting to disintegrate in our defensive play, starting to get too much on our heels there. And the opportunity has been fired in when there's a little bit of space, and Jacob can't keep all of these out. Oh, my word. It is Leicester 0, Norwich 1. How do we add some vibrancy into the attacking part of our game now with 20 minutes to go? Because we need to get to. Going to see the replay. It's Fisher there trying to do a 1-2 with Gibbs. Gibbs crosses it in. Nelson gets it out, but Field's going to pick the ball up rather than Winks. The strike comes in, and the Cody can't close him down well enough there. You can sense some tired, frustrated legs, players trying to get in front of the ball, but a lack of cohesion from Leicester, and that's created a space for Sloman just inside the D there to get his strike away into that far right-hand corner of the goal. Jacob was stretching, didn't get there. And it is 1-0 to Norwich. Oh, dearie me. And unfortunately, you've got to say it's deserved, you know. We've got to find something now. We're back underway here. It's going to be down with Luke Thomas. We're trying to play out from the back. Guys, you're going to have to start pumping it forward here now. We seem to have very limited success trying to pass through this team. We might as well try and compete for balls higher up the pitch. Maybe get a bit of physicality on there. Yeah, we need to move the ball quicker and urgency be better. Well said, guys. And it was coming. Well said, Derek. Lots of good comments from you there. Thank you very much. Here come Leicester again now. And that's a bit of a disconnect there, right, for example, because it was played behind Luke Thomas and they had to scurry back and get it when he wanted it to be played in front of him. Skips now down this left-hand side with Mavrodidi. Mavrodidi's going to bring the ball inside here and play it to Winks. Winks switches the play. That's a bit better, Leicester. Come on. Here is Fatawu here. He's got 2 men on him straight away, as you can imagine. It's Ahmed and it's Sloman. And he's going to get past both of them there. Great job from Fatawu. Lays it off to Winks. There's got to be a pass on. Going to play up into the right-hand side again. Here we go. It's going to be crossed in by Leicester towards the back post. Mavrodidi were ahead on it, but unfortunately it was well read, and the goalkeeper's grabbed that one quite easily. The ball was slightly overhit as well, in a slightly difficult position to get right. And I think there's players down here off the ball, and it is a Norwich player, and it is Fisher, the right back, who unfortunately, he's now back on his feet, luckily. Looks like he took a bit of a header there. Here we go again. It was a crossing from Mukasa towards the back post. Mavrodidi got his head on it, but unfortunately didn't get enough of a decent contact with it. And the ball was kind of slightly over. Unbelievable. Have we got to get JJ on for Mikasa? I would get JJ on. I think if we can, I'd get him on. I'd probably get him on for Winks, to be honest. I think Winks has had one of those days where his passing's been overhit or underhit. And I just think we're better off having a more vibrant metronome in the centre of midfield if we're going to play with this sort of team, right? I think then we're covering 2 lots of yards with Mikasa and JJ on the pitch. Here come Leicester down the left-hand side now. Going to be crossed in towards Daka. Chests it down, but gives it straight up here. And I think they're going to give away an offside as well. Yeah, Daka was offside. Shock horror, guys. Oh, dear. Worst defence of all time. I mean, we were so focused on the defensive side of it, weren't we, mate, that it just kind of eventually was going to get the better of us, and that's the way it's worked out. Norwich have put sustained pressure on for the last 20 minutes. They're now going to play a ball forward here. Jacob's going to come out to try and read it. He grabs the ball well there. And now he's going to try and launch a counter down the left-hand side, throwing it out to Luke Thomas. He's immediately pressed by the Norwich player, and Norwich have won it back with Gibbs, guys. That's the problem with trying that sort of football, and it's been headed there by a Coley. He's trying to stop the Norwich counter-attack. If you're trying to play out from the back and you're giving the ball up straight away in a 1v1, that is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Why are you doing it? Very daft, and it's going to be a throwing to Norwich here down the near side, just outside of our penalty area. Oh, my word. My 2-1 is still on. Yeah. Well, I went for 3-2, didn't I? If it ends up 3-2, I'm going to probably at full-time pass out, I must be honest. But Gibbs and Thomas are in an interesting little battle here. If they don't watch it, one of them is about to get sent off because they're getting arms all over each other. They're getting each other's face. They're telling each other to F off and all the rest of it. You can see it. And I think Gibbs is basically makes as much of a nuisance from Luke Thomas. Kamikaze football, yeah. And like I say, no idea how to play out from the back. I completely agree with that. So why are we doing it? I mean, Norwich, when they haven't been able to play out the back today, you know what they've done? They've gone long and won a second ball. We haven't even tried that. Reminds me of what Marty Cifuentes would do. Jordan James is getting ready to come on, guys. Looks like our wishes might be coming true here. Yeah, and it is disheartening. And here comes Jordan Ayew as well. So it's like he gives with one hand and takes away with the other. So it's going to be a double change coming up for Leicester, guys. It is Jordan James and Jordan Ayew here. And we're going to see who's about to come off. I think one of them might be Luke Thomas, to be honest, which sounds a bit bizarre. But Gary's giving out instructions here. 1-1 still on. Would you take a draw now? I mean, we need 3 points, guys. We've got to go for this. But it just is really concerning. I bet other teams look at us and go, look at that squad on paper. Why are they doing so badly? When you see them play on the actual pitch, you go, they really aren't very good, are they? Yeah, he does need to keep his cool. I do appreciate the passion as well. Yeah. And that's it, Derek, like I just said, mate. Yeah, just get with the board ready to go now and see who's going to come off here. Hey, what have we done to deserve this? I know. Oh, dearie me. Just seeing the goal again here, guys. Yeah, and Cody was doing a nice little dance in front of him there, but really what he should have done is just as soon as that first touch was taken, he needed to make the tackle, and he shirked away from the tackle of Cody and did a little left-right dance if he was playing Parappa the Rapper on PlayStation 1, if you remember that game, and then it went straight into the far right-hand corner. Yeah, we do need the win, Andreas. I agree. I don't think a draw is going to be enough here. Imagine how we're going to feel if we get into 5 o'clock today and West Brom get a win away at Oxford and we've only drawn. It's just going to be, heightened points, isn't it? Heightened problems. Yeah, I know. Well said, Les. Yeah, well said. Luke. Well said, mate. See you at full time, bud. See a bit of a break here going on. And there's also going to be as well a Lascelles coming on as well, guys. So it's going to be a triple change here. Cody was down, to be fair. Cody looks like his game is done today, as Lascelles goes up to get himself ready by the home dugout here. Here comes the board now. We will see who's coming off. And Cody is coming off. Yeah, probably the right decision, and it's going to be Lascelles on for a Cody. Let's hope Lascelles has got the legs to last longer than last time he came on, because we need him to now. We haven't got any other centre-backs, right? It's going to be Mikasa coming off for James, so it's going to be like for like, and it looks like James is going to slip into the 10 role for us. And it's going to be Daka coming off here as well for Ayew. Okay. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Hey, don't get me wrong, Daka's had one of his poor showings again today, but I don't know how much sense it's going to make to bring Jordan Ayew on here. Oh, we really lack strikers. Will it be by the end of this season, the fact we have not gone and got a striker in this transfer window, will that be crucial to the fact that we have not managed to stay up this year? It's a worrying thing. 15 minutes to go. Jordan James has just run on the pitch, giving instructions out here to Winks and Skip. And the Sellers is there as part of a new back two with Ben Nelson. Anyway, throwing to Norwich here. We're finally getting this one back underway after the bit of a delay here. It's going to be Fisher to take it down near towards our penalty area on the near-hand side. 3 Leicester players shielding that, and he goes out of play for another opportunity for Norwich to get a ball in here. Yeah. Good afternoon, Andrew. How are you, mate? Yeah, no, sadly not, mate. Good thing Claudio isn't in the stand today, is there, rather than Enzo, because he would be pretty upset not seeing the clean sheet, wouldn't he? Nelson now trying to play a ball out, and it's a dead man's ball, and it's going to play Norwich in with Mundell Smith, who outside the 6-yard box. Going to be a touch here from Gibbs, and luckily it's been well read there by Jordan James. Shock horror. Jordan James immediately reads the play really well there, and it's going to go out of play, I believe, for a Norwich throwing. No, it's a Leicester throwing. That's even better. Any decent League One away days. Exeter City's down there, me. Long throw in. Ayu's going to pick the ball up here and give it away straight away in a duel. That's typical. And they've given away a free kick because Ayu's got a bit petulant straight away and taken down there McLean. We need strong creative midfielders. We do. It's typical. We need a win. Time is running out. Definitely agree. What are we going to do here? Free kick coming up for Norwich. They're getting everyone forward here. McLean stood over it. There's a line of Leicester players here just outside the penalty area. Here it comes. They've laid it off short instead. They're going to run towards the edge of the penalty area. There's a load of space for Fisher. No one's marking him. In towards the 6-yard box. Across the face of goal. Back post. And it's into the back of the net, guys. And it is Leicester 0, Norwich 2. And it's Ali Ahmed. Wow. And there was no one watching the short free kick option. They were all back there ready for a long ball into the box. So Norwich we'll just walk into that big parade of space you got on the near-hand side. We'll get a cross in. We won't deal with that cross. It bounces around. And it is Leicester 0, Norwich 2. Unbelievable, guys. I mean, the way we set up here, we had no appreciation for the fact there was a guy down there. And look, literally no one marks him. Mavrodidi should have literally gone across there and marked him. And then as soon as Jacob comes out trying to win the ball there from the first cross, he leaves the entire goal vacant and it comes back across there. And it's an easier tap in for Ali Ahmed. He scores much more difficult goals than that every week. And it is a shocker here, guys. The Sellers are spending all his time wrestling someone in the middle rather than looking where the ball was going. Yeah, pathetic. Well said. Yeah, well said. Everyone in the chat, I can't disagree with you. Well said. Here come Leicester now on a counter-attack, maybe. No, it's going to be kicked towards Ayew on this far-hand side. He has got ahead of his man here. We need a quick-fire goal back. Ayew's gone down there, but he's got straight back up. He was trying to win that free kick again. Crossed in low and deep by James, and it's going to hit off a Norwich player and go behind for a corner. Come on, Leicester. What have you got in you here? My prediction was Leicester 3, Norwich 2. It's going to take 10 minutes of utter madness from us here to do it. And Jordan James is still over this corner. We've got to score from this. It's going to be an outswinger. We've got to get ahead on it. Everyone's up. The Sellers is up. Nelson is up. Come on, the Sellers. Get your head on it. Chipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Norwich get there first, though, guys, and the header is cleared out. Ricardo's just going to dink it back in towards the D there. Norwich are going to win it back again, though. We're not winning that second ball. Mavrodidi, man, like he's been so switched off already for me in this. And now he's trying to get the ball back here, but it's going to be Norwich who hold the ball amongst their back too. Leicester fans are leaving, and I don't blame them at all, mate. Well said, Carol. Welcome along. Going down these points ASAP. We do look finished. This group of players is, I mean, I tell you what, unbelievable. And there's been a goal as well, I believe, at Portsmouth Hull as well, guys. Whichever way that goes. Chris is going to fill us in on that one, but they're showing something on the screen here. I was about to say, let's see how the React going 1 down and that happens. Yeah, I mean, fragile mentally. I mean, you could definitely say the team is very fragile mentally. And it is Hull who've taken the lead against Portsmouth, guys, 1-0. Thank you, Chris. That's at least a little bit of good news. But I tell you what, you think the fixtures we've got coming up next. We've got Ipswich next. We're battling for a top 2. Change coming for Norwich here. And it's going to be Liam Gibbs off, and it's going to be Jack Stacey on, which is interesting because they've replaced a winger with a fullback, guys. So maybe they've decided now's the time to pack up shop. Derby have taken the lead against Blackburn, so that is some good news for us at least. But all these results elsewhere aren't going to matter if we can't get 3 points at some point, right? Big 10 minutes. Come on, Leicester. My prediction was 3-2. We need to go and get this 3-2. No point in having your heads drop now. You might as well just dig in. What are you going to gain from losing your heads and dropping them now? You're just going to end up being in a position where, you know, we're just going to concede more goals, right? It's all right. No worries, Chris. Here come Norwich. The game's back underway now. Played up towards the halfway line. Norwich literally can just take their time and pass the ball amongst their back four. Have we got anything in a positive press and any energy left in this team, or any want left in this team to at least get one? If we get one, there's a bit of nerves that can creep in for the opposition then, right? Back to Lascelles. He's going to play a ball forward here. The referee has given something here. Lascelles looks like he's down holding his feet here. Oh, don't say he's hurt already. No, he's getting back up. Can you put Mavrididi and Ayew in that bin, Chris, or is that too much? No point in panicking. No, just got to start working, boys. Got to start working. Coming up to 82 minutes here, guys. Yeah, exactly. Ball chipped forward now, trying to find Fatawu here on this far-hand side. Norwich are going to win that second ball again. We cannot win a second ball to save our life, can we? Back to Jacob. Need to start going longer, guys. Is there any point in us making a silly little pass to Ben Nelson now when we're 2-0 down with 10 minutes to go? Here's Mavrididi in a bit of space on the left-hand side, near-hand side. And he's been one off the ball there, and it's going to be a throw to Leicester. Is he going to take it quick? No, he's going to wait for Luke Thomas here. There we go. We don't look like scoring. I'd agree. I don't think we really have, really, apart from a little spurt at the start of the game. The problems that are deep-rooted in this football club are incredible, aren't they, Gray? Luke Thomas now is going to throw it in there. Nice little reader play there by Winks, and he's going to kick it off the Norwich right back, and it's going to be a corner to Leicester. Derby go 3-1 up against Blackburn. That's a team that was 1-0 down and showed a bit of bollocks, doesn't it? Honestly. Can we show some bollocks? Oh, if we get a 3-2, Wayne, honestly, I'd be a genius, wouldn't we? But I tell you what, it's been a stressful path to get there. Corner coming in now. We've got to score here, guys. Going to be crossed in towards the 6-yard box. Winks has taken it. It's gone under the crossbar, headed up by Norwich. Oh, and the goalkeeper's had to tip it over the crossbar one-handed. There was a head straight up in the air there from Cordoba. Winks' corners are going to be dangerous here. We've got to utilise this, especially down that side. They're going to come in under the crossbar. The head from Nelson there was actually, and then it dipped all of a sudden, and it was in that difficult space where you can't grab it. It's too close to the bar. Second bite of the cherry here. Corner in again. It's been headed clear at the first opportunity, unfortunately. It's going to be out here to Jordan James. Winks is down here on this far near side again. Here comes Mavrididi. Crosses it in towards the 6-yard box. Headed clear by Cordoba. Fatawu on the volley and over the top of the crossbar by about 50 yards. Oh, my word. Oh, I can't believe it. High and wide and not very attractive. At the moment, you needed Abdou Fatawu to catch one sweetly into the top corner net like he's done so many times for us this year, guys. He doesn't manage it, and it's gone miles over the crossbar. Possession, 52% to Leicester, 48% to Norwich. The XG is a whole point difference, 0.5 to 1.5. Sums up our game of football, wasn't it? If we get a free, I will shave my beard right now, mate. If it means we'll win. If they go, do you want to shave your beard and you have a win? I'll be like, yes, please. Give me the razor, please. We'll do it, whatever it takes. Norwich should have a throwing here on the far side, but in their half. Oh, they're in our half. Sorry. This could get a lot worse yet, couldn't it? And the referee is saying that we've got to take this one again because it was taken in the wrong position. He wants it taken closer to the corner flag. That's not helpful for us, really, is it? You'll shave it all, won't you? Fair play to you, Chris. Fair play to you. I think we'd all do that. I nearly regurgitated then on that. Chris, nothing against you personally, mate. Just not my cup of tea, that sort of male genitalia. Anyway, free kick now. There's an offside being given. Leicester are going to have a free kick here right on the back here. There's been another goal at Derby Blackburn, Chris. That might be the goal they're showing from before, actually. But anyway, we don't need to worry about other games really now. We've got 5 minutes here to potentially save ourselves. But I think it looks very unlikely when you've seen 85 minutes like we've seen so far, where it's just got progressively worse, and the goal kick's gone straight out of play from Jacob to a Norwich throwing. Oh, thanks, mate. Yeah, well said, Kieran. We need Oxford to do us a massive favour. I'd agree with that. I used to live in Oxford. I'll send the good words to them, so you've got to get 3 points, guys. Either that or they might as well relegate us just above Sheffield Wednesday. You could argue we've been that bad at points this year, haven't we? Honest to God. At least Oxford show a bit more fight than we do. At least they can win a game against Leicester for one. Norwich have got the ball in our half here now. We can't seem to get a grip on it. And when we do, we seem to be a bit panicky and a bit disjointed. And the ball's out of play now for a Leicester throwing halfway inside our half on the far-hand side. Does feel like a sinking ship. Hopefully not live, Chris. Pretty sure, Jeff, YouTube's standards will not allow us to start shaving pubes live on air. Pretty sure that's the case. Back now to the Sellers. He's got to go longer here. Chips it towards halfway. Ayew doesn't even bother competing for that. He lets the Norwich player win it. Thank you very much. And now here come Norwich again. They've got 3. It's a 3 versus 2, guys. There might be an opportunity. They're going to take their time, though. So the manager's just going to kill the play here a little bit, rather than take the opportunity to get into the back of the net. And what a stat that is from Derek. Welcome along, bud. First time since 1914 that Leicester have lost 4 games in a row in the second tier. Yeah, not good, is it? Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that, mate. I'm trying to get some energy here to try and get behind this, because I'm like, we can't. I mean, I can go mad at full time. I can't go mad now when there's still going to be another potentially 10 minutes of football to be played here, including whatever added time we got. Long ball again from Norwich. Lascelles is going to tell Jacob to come out and get it on the edge of the box, and he does. He rolls it out to Nelson. We need to see some urgency here, Leicester. And there's just no urgency. Come on. Just stands there with the ball and goes, oh, I'll pass it to Lascelles then. What's the point now? You've been doing that all game. That's got you nowhere. What honestly is going on here? Don't put any more Duracell batteries up me, mate. I'm enough ADHD as it is, probably. Lascelles up here to Ricardo. Ricardo inside to Winks. Winks with a nice little flick on. James is trying to play a forward pass there, and it's going to go all the way towards the goal line. The goalkeeper there is stood right by his near-hand post. Skip is duelling here with Cordoba, but once again can't win that duel. Didn't even really look like he wanted to be honest. Just stood off him a little bit there. And now Norwich are going to play a long ball forward because Ali Ahmed is still on the pitch. There's actually Mundale Smith they're trying to play in that time. But they've got an option now. If we commit bodies forward, they can just flick in Ahmed in the back like they've done a couple of times already and try and pick us off here for a third. 3 minutes left here, guys. Unbelievable. It is really, really just so disheartening, honestly, seeing it's just the lack of fire in them now, especially. It's like we're playing on the same level. It's volume 5 the whole way. And if volume 5 doesn't work, we haven't got a volume 8. We haven't got a volume 9. We just don't have it in our repertoire. And that is down to the players on the pitch. We can say what we want about the manager. That's down to the players actually wanting to put the work in, wanting to actually come out there and go, I'm going to be sweating myself off this pitch today, and I'm going to leave it all on the line. We've left very little on the line, honestly. And it's been a big problem with Leicester. And I do not understand. They don't like to be called out for it, this group. Their egos get hurt too much, right? Fans are leaving in their droves, guys. There's nothing going on the pitch at the moment. Honestly, it's got vibes when we went down to League One last time. It's just that we were flat, weren't we? We were flat that year, and eventually it caught us out of the final day. It's going to be a goal kicker to Leicester anyway. Yeah, I think it does, Andreas. I think, do you know what? It's funny because Rowett is a bit more like a Pearson type, isn't he? We're going to take a goal kick here in a minute. Are we going to go long or are we going to go short? Oh, we're going short again, guys. Way! Pass it to the Sellers. Pass it to Ricardo. Ricardo now goes a bit longer. Oh, Norwich have won the ball like he did every time. Oh, interesting. Just no difference. They just don't have a plan B. It's plan A. Reminds me of the Millwall game, this, where we kept trying to play out from the back, and then we let Aziz in every 5 minutes, and he was scoring as if he was on a Sunday league game. Ayu's going to give the ball up now for a throw in here. Ayu's going to take it himself, and the referee is saying no, it was a Norwich throwing, so that's really helpful. Yeah, I think the first 10, 20 minutes, they showed they were up for a battle. And then all of a sudden, whatever happened, it was almost like Norwich didn't even really increase their volume that much, guys. They went, we'll go from a 5 to a 7 here and see what happens. We'll target Ricardo a bit. We'll target this person a bit. And then what happens? We just go, we can't do anything. What do we do? They're coming at us. I mean, what is wrong with this lot? I mean, honestly, it's just like you challenge them to a fight and like they take one punch and they start crying, honestly. And it's like, well, you might as well go down swinging, lads, honestly. Ball's in the centre of midfield now for Leicester. We're going to find out how much added time's coming in a minute. Jordan James trying to play Ayew in, who's once again rather deep here for a forward. It comes down to Thomas. Now comes Mavididi. Mavididi trying to play Jordan James in. I think he might have been offside, but he's still going to win the ball back here, and they've given the offside. And you know what that was? Because there's no communication. There is no ability to read what our teammates are going to do on this football pitch. Incredible. Unbelievable. Man of the match is going to be given to Ali Ahmed today of Norwich, and I don't disagree with that. I said in the pre-match that he was the man you've got to watch out for. He's done a great job coming across the Vancouver Whitecaps into Championship football, adjusted really quick. How much added time have we got, guys? We tick past the 90 here. 6 minutes of added time. We need 2 goals in 3 minutes. I think I've got more chance of shagging Katy Perry, right? Oh, it's just incredibly bad here. I'm just so fed up of it, like you boys are, honestly. It seems impossible, doesn't it? You just look at this group of players and go, you've got to want to fight your way out of this, haven't you? I need to say Katie Price. Yeah, I realise Katy Perry's probably a better pick here, guys, right? I wouldn't want KE Price, and I probably could. No, what am I talking about? I'll get back to the football. Oh, bless you. Hopefully Rotherham play a bit better, mate. They're down the bottom 3 of League One, aren't they? So, yeah. I may stop watching until these jerks are out of the club. Oh, it feels a bit like it. It just gets to a point where you kind of feel like you're not wanted as well. Like the football club's taken an active dislike to its fan base this year, which for me is unacceptable, honestly. And the players at times play like they've got an active hatred of their own fans. They must do. I'm sorry. They do. Incredible stuff here. I'm just having a few problems, Chris, to finish up here because I'm having a few freezing worries, mate. Hopefully I've not missed anything. And all we're talking bad about Leicester, it could very well be back in this now. Isn't that you taking up someone else's oxygen? I'm back here now. Right, things are back online, guys. I think the internet was trying to help me out there because it had got to maximum point. Was saying, we'll save you today, Tom. Anyway, Norwich have got the ball back now towards their goal. They're going to dink it forward long here. Yeah, sorry about that, Andrew. I had a bit of a freezing moment there, mate. Leicester now playing the ball forward here. It's going to be AU coming down this left-hand side. There's going to be a bit of a battle here with Cordoba. He's had a great game for Norwich. He's come across. He's trying to shield the ball here. AU can't deal with that physicality, can he? And now Cordoba takes it round Fatawu for good measure as well. Plays it up towards halfway. Norwich, some great 1-2 football here. They know exactly where their runner's going to be. Leicester trying to duel the ball off them here at halfway with Ben Nelson. Jordan James has fed a nice little pass through there to Skip. Got to switch this play. Here it comes. And here we come now with Mavididi down the left-hand side. Mavididi's got a 1v1 here. Now he's got another player on him as well, and he's given the ball up, guys. He can't pass through him. Mavididi and Fatu with the same problem throughout the game here. They cannot get past the man to save their lives, and they're kicking it off their heels. Back to Jacob, and now he rolls it out to Ben Nelson. Got 4 minutes to go here. Come on. Got to get this ball forward. Mavididi on halfway. Just holds onto it and lays it off back there to Winks. Winks walking. Passes it up here to Ricardo. Walking. James plays it across to Ricardo again. Not going forward. Guys, there's like literally, do you see the clock? It's 92 minutes on the clock here. Now down to Mavididi on the left. He's trying to flick through Luke Thomas, who's got on the overlap. Luke Thomas with ball in. Mavididi's going to pick up the second chance. Unfortunately, once again, he kicks it off a player's legs rather than getting it round him. Luke Thomas will pick up the second ball again, though. Jordan James, 1-2 here with Mavididi. Back to Winks. Got to switch to play, Winks. Does. Switches it up here to the right-hand side. Here we go with Fatawu, who's slipped over with two men on him. He's kicked it away, and Norwich are going to pick this ball up here. And they're just going to clear it long, guys, and it's going to hit Fatawu and go out of play for a Norwich throwing here. Oh, on the far-hand side. Yeah, I think you're probably right there, Tommy. It could be us down. It feels like it. Substitution for Norwich is going to be the man of the match for them. Ahmed coming off, and replacing him is going to be Springer, another winger from their academy. Yeah, well said, Steve. They do play well, don't they? But then you look at the game and you go, in the first half it was 0-0. Yeah, you could see the signs that there's nothing going on the pitch at the minute, guys. You could see that there were signs there, that we could battle them, at least make it hard for them and maybe catch something on them. And then as soon as they turned up a little bit more pressure, we just fell apart a little bit. Just making their changes here. We also got Wright coming on for Norwich, the central midfielder, and he has replaced Field, the central midfielder, so a like-for-like change there. Right, got about 2.5 minutes to go here. Ball chipped forward. It's going to come all the way back to Ben Nelson. Nelson's going to lay it off to Jacob, who's outside the penalty area. Got to go long. Does go long. Kicks it over the halfway line here. Going to be headed on here by a Norwich player against Skip. Flicked on again. Nelson's going to pick the ball up again. Got to go forward, Ben. Got to go forward. Back to Jacob. Once again, we're passing around the back a little bit here, guys. Come on, a bit of urgency to play it forward. Here comes Winks. Winks jogging over halfway here, looking for an option to pass to. There's no one in particularly any space. There's no one particularly free. I wouldn't give it to Mavididi if I were you. We're just going to give it up. Dink ball from Jordan James, trying to find Fatawu. Overhit, unfortunately. Fatawu looks like he can't get on the end of that, or he didn't really want to. I hate to say it. And it's gone out of play here for a goal kick to Norwich. Fatawu looks surprised at how things have gone today. He's got a look on his face of just sheer surprise. And now they show the chairman's face. He's got a look on his face of like, oh dear. Yes, you probably took your eye off the ball, Mr. Chairman, for far too long here, unfortunately. Yeah, and there's a flag at the back of the stand being shown from Bentley's Roof, champions of England. You made us sing that 10 years ago, guys. It's only been a decade. Long ball forward from Norwich. Now ball's back in play. Headed by Lascelles, who's pushed up here. Really narrow little battle in the middle here. Lascelles lays it off to Ricardo. Being pressurised by Mundell there, and it's going to be a free kick to Leicester. got to take Jack up here to take this and get it forward. But we've only got a minute left, so it's not even going to really matter now, is it? The Sellers looks like he's just going to play it forward. Oh, no, he just lays it off to Ricardo. Ricardo now goes long. 50-50 duel with AU and the fullback there. AU goes down. Shock horror, nothing given. Empty seats all around the stadium. Back with the Sellers again. Norwich just know if we just play it forward, we can win a second ball off this team. Nelson now coming forward from the centre-back position, striding over halfway, plays it up to James here. James is going to lay it down now, and it's going to come to Mavididi. Mavididi here has got Luke Thomas ahead of him now. Mavididi, though, doesn't really bring any energy to this, does he? And it's going to go back across to Winks. We look like a team that's devoid of ideas. 30 seconds to go. Here comes Fataru here. Fataru cuts inside past his man. He's got to take a cross here, and unfortunately, it's going to go behind. Looks like it's going to be a corner. And it's Chris Sen who's got the block on there. They're saying he's hurt himself, and they're going to bring medical officials on. That's going to delay us suffering any longer here, guys. It's chopped to in a wasp. I mean, what does he expect? I mean, if they had that eye on the ball, this never would have happened in the first place, honestly. Full time's coming in. Derby 1-3-1 against Blackburn. Full time Portsmouth 0-1. Just waiting for the whistle to go now, guys, and we're going to have everyone coming in for the post-match. Stick around for that one. Obviously, get your thoughts in the chat about what you've seen today. Unfortunately, it seems like a step backwards after maybe some baby steps forward. Just waiting to see if this game will even get back underway here now. I think the referee should put us out of our misery. He's still down here, the Norwich left back behind the goal. It's going to be a corner to Leicester, so I guess they've got to take it. We're going to take it here. It's going to be an outswinger. Comes in towards the 6-yard box, headed clear by Norwich. Luke Thomas outside the area. James from distance is going to go over at the top of the crossbar, deflected by Wright, and the full-time whistle is gone, guys. Full-time, Leicester 0, Norwich 2. What can we say about that? Chris?
Well, I could actually say a lot, to be honest with you, but I want to keep my channel.
Yeah, isn't it, mate? You've got a load of people coming in, mate. I'll go and have 5 minutes to go shout in the woods, and I'll be back.
Yeah, not a problem, mate. Not a problem. Did you say shit in the woods? Oh,
No, shout in the woods. No, shout. Yeah.
all right, mate. All right. See you in a bit. Oh, good God. Yes. Talk to me, somebody. Clibbo. What do you
I
think?
thought it was a disgrace. There was absolutely no excuse for that level of just lack of anything. I saw nothing in that game that makes me think we could get out of this situation. I mean, how many managers now picking the same shit? And I did feel that the 2 draws that we had were not good draws, because today showed exactly why. We've got 2 points from a potential 9. That is relegation form. I think the players towards the end were just strolling around the park like they were going to go for a piss up afterwards. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. And Rowett got it wrong today, and he needs to be called out for it. I'll say when he does good, but today, absolutely disgraceful.
You're not dressed up as a bunny, are you?
No, I had my Leicester shirt on, but I covered it up because I'm absolutely disgusted.
For me, I'm thinking, like, have I fallen asleep and missed Easter? You've come in.
I thought Clibbo looked like Walt from Breaking Bad.
I'm going to I think I'm going to go run the streets and put my boxing gloves back on. I think that's how I feel.
I've just seen, Wayne, you've got Rowett there, Andy King, and that dickhead, what was he called, that we took back, Sadler? I mean, what the fuck is he still doing there when we've got Callum Davidson?
I'm really surprised with the second half performance, to be honest. I thought that, going at half time, I thought we looked flat in our attack going forward, even though we looked pretty solid. But it's just, as Tom said, he said the volume's on 5 and it's been stuck on 5. And that really described the performance. It was a flat performance today.
I've got to say, Thankfully, I was a few minutes behind Tom in the watch-along. But when I actually said about putting the rubbish out, I had gone to put the rubbish out. I'd gone for a pee, which was one of the nice things that I could do because I'm not actually commentating. I'm just doing the facts and the stats. And I've gone through a couple of these. And I thought, I'm going to go and empty the bins. And it was like, watching one lot of rubbish to another. Jim, look, Mr. Positivity, before Luke comes in as the angry Aussie. One end of the world to the other, America to Australia. Jim, anything positive that you can take from that?
First of all, hi to Clibo. Welcome back, Luke. Positivity. I'm still looking. I may disagree a little with Clibo. I thought the last two draws, even though they were draws, there was positivity there, but I saw absolutely none today. They were flat. They were like Wayne said at halftime, they were pedestrian. I never saw anything that showed me we had any attack at all. And then I think the thing that I'm frustrated the most about is lack of substitution early enough with players that could have done something moving the ball up the pitch, like JJ or something else. He just sat and waited, and then all of a sudden he reacted when we went down. No, not a lot of positivity here.
No. Derek says Richard was brought in to give us a desperately needed forward. How can you engage without a forward worthy of the name? Look, and also there, Luke, let me put this one to you. It's gone up off the screen now. Where was it? Yeah, Dawarski says here, Luke, we have to blame the players. They are not good enough. We can't keep blaming the managers. We have to wake up. I'm just watching Clement here just going absolutely bananas at his own fans in a good way. Luke, I mean, it is true, but what other players have we got to play?
To be honest with you, I think that's not true to an extent. Like I think it was Pipes that was commentating, said the same thing I was thinking was like this was the strongest it felt going into that game. If you looked at the 11, there was few changes by bearing injury that I was pretty much happy with every position except obviously Thomas. But if you looked at the bench, you're like, you know what? Like this is the first time I feel confident. This looks like a strong bench, particularly for this division. I thought we looked quite settled. I thought the first 20 minutes we looked good. I thought the passing was really good. And I'll tell you why, because I think Macassar and Winks absolutely bossed that midfield. But if you go back and watch that game, or if you notice watching it, Macassar was fucking busting a leg proper. That whole 45, I think he blew his wad too early, and the game passed him by. I think that's why Winks, I thought he went anonymous most of that second half. And then as soon as JJ come on, I thought we started to look a bit better on the ball again. So I think we lost that energy. We got dominated that second half. I think, though, that our defense still gives me proper anxiety. I mean, that second goal, man, like Luke Thomas, that was a flop, that deflection. Then Stalache looks like a fucking starfish that got electrocuted. I don't know what he was doing. And then went over, Ricardo gets beaten by his man. I mean, calamitous as always, particularly from set pieces. The defense still scares me, and I do not want Starlarch ever to be our number one again. Unfortunately, he's not up to it.
Oh, I've missed you, Luke.
Come on, man.
An electric starfish. I mean, that is brilliant. Brilliant, mate. Welcome back. It's nice to have you back. Where did it go wrong, Tom? I mean, at 0-0, we were in the game. Yes, they were slowly getting on top, but it was another defensive, decent battle, to be honest with you. We were stopping everything that was coming at us. And I put when we were 1-0 down, when I came back from putting the rubbish out, I said, right, let's see how they react. Because we knew under Marty they'd concede another and possibly a third. And then what happened? They conceded a second. It's just same old, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, these players only have one gear, and they can never find another one where you need it, right? I mean, what a rancid, horrible little group they are. I'm going to call it out as it is. I'm sorry, because you've got to look at yourself in the mirror, boys, you know. It's one thing Jordan James coming on and Mikasa coming on and trying to be that individual lift to try and bring some energy to a group. But if the rest of you who have been here for a long time, picking up a lot of wages, been made multi-millionaires by this football club, If you're not willing to look at yourself and take accountability and be a part of that collective, you're leaving these players out to dry. You're leaving the football club out to dry. And mate, I'm just at that point where I'm just like, today was a great opportunity again for the fan base to have a little boost, like we've said, week on week on week. And they can't even put that effort in. If I was their manager, they're bloody lucky I'm not. They wouldn't be getting paid this week. It'd be that simple. They wouldn't get any money.
You'd lose the dressing room again, wouldn't you?
Well, they'd have to get used to me and get liking it, because the standards need to be there. This is part of the problem with this football club, Chris. The standard hasn't been held up by the people at the top of the club, and it links all the way down. And this is why you end up in a position where you're going to get relegated.
Yeah. Look, anybody that knows has been watching this show, we used to have a donkey of the week, and that was the worst player on the pitch. I gave it to Luke Thomas a couple of games ago, maybe got it wrong, but he did cost us the second goal. Am I wrong?
Why even put him on the pitch? It's fucking redundant. He's not even going to be here next season. The guy looks about 32 gone on 56. I don't want to see him ever come on the pitch ever again. We're 1 or 2-0 down, and your idea is to put him up top and drop back into the left back position. That's fucking brain dead, and why Clippo is right to say you have to call out Rowett for that. It was a brain dead sub. It was stupid.
It's Rowett that should be called out. He should be the ham sandwich for that substitution.
Jim's my man of the match.
Well, I mean, I can't really put it any more eloquently than Luke did, because
he does have a way with the old Queen's English, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I did consider not coming on here because of the amount of foul language that was stored up in my head, but I feel better now, Luke, so thanks. No, but the only thing I can say is that it just seems very odd to me that 4 managers keep picking that fucking idiot. There you go. I've said it, and I will continue to say it, because he offers nothing positive going forward. And the amount of times I see him pissing around with it on the line in the opposition half, and it ends up back at Luke Thomas or back in the defence. I mean, all that huffing and puffing for nothing. What's that all about? Now, if you're saying I'm taking off Daka because he's ran himself into the ground, I don't buy that shit. He's not played half the season, and he's a fit young lad, and he's causing defensive issues, making people go, oh Christ, what's going on? That's better than having some, I don't even know what to say, a football player for Leicester City running around like a headless chicken, and then half the time walking like he's been shot up the arse. I don't get it. And if you keep picking him, I'm going to keep calling you out for it. And the more he keeps doing it, the less he's going to get my backing.
The thing is, though, Wayne, who else is there?
Oh, you can't use that. You can't use that. There is people in the crowd probably with amputated legs that could probably do the same job.
Yeah, is CFAX still a thing nowadays? Can we do a Wickham and just put an advert out on CFAX to see who's playing down? I mean, Dave Nugent's still playing. Waghorn's still playing. Get one of those across some Ashley Nomads. We're in emergency times.
My mate, I need to say that, Tibbo. My mate is in hospital at the moment, and he works on the radio station with me, and he's just had his right leg amputated from the knee down. I could have a word with him, see if he's available.
I'd rather.
I know what he's saying, Wayne, but at the end of the day, the only other probably we've got Richards. You know,
we have got other options, like, you know, nobody's tried Monger in the 10. You know, McCaster could play up front. You have got other options. And look, I do think Daka, IU, when he signed, he got 5 goals in the Prem, £1 million a goal. Okay, but it's like Vestergaard, their time has gone past, and they're not the future of Leicester. So I don't see why he's picking him. And it's getting embarrassing the way he approaches his mindset of what he aims to do in a match. It's actually embarrassing, because his protocol is, you know, hold on to the ball, get fouled, and get a free kick. It's not forward play. It's not staying as a number 9. and you get more nimble, agile strikers that might drop deep, but that can get back up in the number 9 position. Oh, you just can't do that. He's not the future. But I think that attitude, the same as Fatuu's attitude, it's like in the chat, one guy put walking football 0, Norwich 2, which I thought was very good. Another chat said my non-league football team could beat Leicester City, and I think that's the concerning thing with Leicester. It's the attitude of these players that, you know, if Rowett doesn't change things up with some of the personnel and positions he puts them in, and bench Fatawu, for instance, then I think I'd be very surprised, and that to me is alarm belly.
I have written to Top and asked him to arrange a friendly with your team, Wayne.
I've seen Wayne's team play. They're not bad.
Exactly. And with legs like Wayne's, I mean, it'd be straight down the wing. Jim, it's been a difficult start for the new manager. And normally when you are a new manager, it's great to come in maybe when it's an international break or it's an FA Cup weekend and you've not got a game. But he's come in and he had 2.5 days he had a game. 2 days after that he had a game. And then 3 days after that he had a game. Is it now that, you know, for our next match that he's got to look at those 3 games and he has got to make, because he hasn't made any tough decisions, right? You know, he's come in and we thought he was doing better in the defence and they were throwing the bodies on the line against Middlesbrough, but it's still 5 goals in 3 games that we've conceded.
Yeah, a couple things. Number one, he's an experienced manager coming in. Like it or not, he's an experienced manager. He had seen a little bit of us before he was hired, so we knew what he was getting, and we knew it was just a shit pot of players with bad attitudes and not a lot of talent. So that being said, he got a little bit out of them with 2 draws, but today it was all on him. I mean, like it or not, I agree with Luke. I don't want to see Ayew on the pitch again, but he didn't cost us this game. I really think it was the lack of substitutions, and I really think it was the team that he put out there that didn't want to play. I think he's got to look at a lot of serious changes before we play next. This was a game we had to win, and we got embarrassed.
Look, we were lucky. Derby came back from 1-0 down to beat Blackburn Rovers, and Hull beat Portsmouth for us, and Hull are up to 3rd now. I mean, those results went our way, as they pretty much went our way midweek. But I don't want to be relying on other teams. And is it now time for Rowett to give some tough love? And I don't just mean bollocking them off. I mean dropping them. Put the youngsters out. Give them a run out. And to be honest with you, if we lose, we put the youngsters out and we lose 4 or 3-0. So fucking what? We're losing anyway.
Yeah, you're definitely probably going to keep morale in the crowd behind you and be more forgiving for the long list of ineptitude that we've seen from the club. I definitely agree with what Wayne said earlier. That was one of Fatah's worst games for me. That was really appalling, that game, to be honest. I don't really want to see Monga play on the right, but to be honest, if he's not going to be played in 10, I also want to see that Wayne. Then I would stick, like, Aribo didn't come on that game. Like, I understand having a settled back 4, but I was surprised other than the Tokova Reed change that we didn't really see too much rotation, particularly with a midweek game. So I definitely want to see some heavy rotations. I honestly don't think that many managers can come in and fix this. We just have an absolute horrible squad full of individuals that pretty much all threw their toys out the pram when Enzo left, to be honest with you. And I think they made it worse by appointing Steve Cooper afterwards.
They did, but again, and I've got to say that is one thing where you can't actually blame top 4 because Enzo walked out on us. We didn't actually sack him, and then obviously trying to get somebody in at the last minute. Tom, I mean, look on the bench. You had Louis Page, Monga, Arabu, Aluko, youngsters. You should be playing. I think that's the only way to get your message across. That you should go and say, right, next game. Do you know what? I'm going to play the youngsters and the low knees.
Yeah, it's not only the fact that it's the maturer players, it's the attitude of these maturer players, right? We've been looking for a little bit of leadership in this group, hoping that can, raise some morale. But then I just see people like AU come on, and as soon as they go down too easy for the first one, in a game where the referee has shown he's not going to give any free kicks for you going down under the ball that easy, he just goes, oh, and gets all stroppy about it. What is that leading with people? And like you say, we've got people like Hutchinson down the under-18s who's banging goals in. We're at that point where you might as well go, this is an opportunity for you to come in and to show the other players by the fact that, look, there will be repercussions if you aren't doing it. You will not be in this team. But then there's also part of me that goes, well, what's the point of that? Because they probably don't want to play, because they don't want to be accountable now anyway. I mean, what a mess we're in. Mavididi today again. Just like, what does he bring? I mean, he literally came on and went, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do exactly what Fataru's been doing the entire game, and make it twice as bad for us. And that's exactly what he did. So all the substitutions today were woeful. I would have seen Luco on there for a bit of vibrancy, maybe a bit of Louis Page for a bit of vibrancy, like Luke rightly said, a Rebo for a bit of vibrancy. And we seem to be stuck with these utter knobheads, and that's what they are, who just cannot get after anything more than 5 out of 10. They cannot get any more. Terrible.
Watch those flinters up your arse there, Tom. I get it. I totally get it. Clivo, do you remember, and I keep coming back to this, and I know everybody's saying, oh, God, you're going to, mess with their heads if you put the youngsters in. You should be picking the youngsters when we're winning. Fuck knows when that will be. But I'm sorry, they're 18 years old. They're not kids anymore. They're not, in the under 10s or the under 12s. They are at 18. They are adults. They could have 3 kids, or well, maybe not 3, 2, well, possibly 3, because they start younger these days, don't they? So they are fully adults. They can drink. They can smoke. So fucking hell, put them on. Do you remember when we played Watford in the FA Cup during COVID? We had, I think, the most youngsters we'd had on for ages. Watford were a Premier League team. We beat them. This was under the Seal. And next round, we got Nottingham Forest, who were then in the Championship. And what did the Seal do? He brought back all the big name players. What happened? They stuffed us 4-1. It can't be any worse if we put the youngsters on. And if you say to the youngsters, just go out and play. If we lose, we lose. It's not on you. Fine. But all these, me, fuck off if if you say an 18-year-old aren't good enough to play football. Tell Mukasa that.
I'm absolutely sick I'm sick to death of hearing, oh, we need the experience. These experienced players have consistently, 3/4 of the way through the season, showed that they cannot change the situation. What the hell have we got to lose now by playing these players? I mean, I'm sure Wayne will tell you, because he's watched quite a lot of the youth. The one thing that they don't do is sit back. They want to press. They want to go forward. They're going to make mistakes. You can forgive people for making mistakes if they're trying hard. What I saw today was none of that. And it's now time for experience to be put on the sidelines, put out to pasture. And that's coming from someone who's in their 50s, So, but for me, I don't want to see. I know I heard Tom talking about the back 4 today, and I did agree with his point, but I don't want to see that back 4 again. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Ricky P as right back. He's exposed. He gets exposed, and it's not because I don't like the guy. I've told you before. I absolutely love Ricky P, but he cannot be playing now. It's time to bring somebody else in. I'm not going to say who, because it'll probably be somebody else. You know what I mean? But it's time to put him out of his misery, because he does look like he's suffering sometimes on that pitch, and it must be frustrating knowing the skills and talent that you have possessed through injury has gone, because as I imagine his brain is telling his body to do it, but it just can't, and it needs to change, because we are just drifting effortlessly into League One.
At half time, Wayne, we were talking with Luke, and I said, get Ricardo off, because he was being beaten every time by their Ahmed, who ended up, I think, being man of the match, to be honest with you, I think, at the end. And yet, I mean, this is what pisses me off. As fans, we can see it. I'm not even at the fucking pitch and I can see it. The fans in the crowd can see it. He stood with that dickhead, whatever he's called, the assistant to King, and he can't see what's fucking going on. No manager can see what's going on. Are we employing blind managers? Should they be stood there with the fucking service dog next to them, their guide dog, because that's the only way they get into the fucking stadium?
I think Ricky P must be Mafia family. He's probably got things on everybody so they can't drop it.
I've tried to cut the head off that Ricky P that you bought me, and I can't.
Yeah, no, look, he hasn't been good all season. One-on-one, he's woeful, actually. I think players just know if they get one-on-one with him, they can go either side. He falls on his bum. He sometimes looks like a lost child at times, almost like watching you like 10-year-old grandchild play football. That's sometimes how Ricky P looks. So, yeah, he's had a great time at Leicester, but it is time to move on. And when you've got a Luco, that's what is the puzzling thing. So he's got a Luco at his disposal. And like with the wingers, he has got, when D. Cordova-Reid went off, and I said to Jim in the chat, oh, that's it, he's going to drag Fatu off, he's having a shit game. And D. Cordova-Reid come on and thinking, what? I know sometimes Abdul scores a worldy goal, but that, for 90 minutes, that was an awful game. And he's had a lot of awful games. So that's my big puzzle with managers. And I think what it is, they don't actually have the balls to make that decision when they're in the hot seat. Because all his fans, although we're not in the hot seat, we can all say, for God's sake, play a Luco. For God's sake, just try Monger in the 10 for one game. Or just try Macassar as a number 9. Just try a few different things, please.
Yeah.
But
Brad's in. I bet he's glad he's not on the show till this afternoon. Jim, I mean, is there a book, How to Be a Wanker, that all the managers read before they seem to come into Leicester? Because we had Enzo, who was, and I'm going to say this, he was a wanker. Because he was picking the same team, and we went from 17 points clear at the top to 1, and he wouldn't change it. Then we had Steve Cooper, who wasn't really here long enough, but at least he was trying to change it round. Then we have the Dutch wanker in Ruud van Nistelrooy, who decides to play exactly the same way as Enzo had, but with worse players, because we'd sold a few of them. Then we had Martí Cifuentes, the Spanish wanker, who came in. And then, he tried to play with the same formation, with the same players, and got the same result. And now we've completed the set. It's like the Royal Flush. We've now got the English wanker that's come in saying, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to play the same wankers that have been shit all this time in this formation. What is it with these arseholing managers?
I think they put some verbiage in their contracts that they have to be a wanker when they sign. No, you're dead on. I mean, who to think that we'd go back and say Cooper was the least of the wankers, as much as we were bored to tears in what he was doing and how short a time he was here. But no, I mean, you hit it right on the head. Why they continue to make things, just like Clibo said, it's long since the time to waste our time on experienced players who are past their prime. We should have months ago started playing the youth, started playing them regularly. And then certainly when we're in the dire straits that we've been in the last, say, 3-4 weeks, I mean, just throw reckless abandon, get the young kids in there. Because if anything, they're going to bring some energy. And then a goal comes, and another goal comes. And then all of a sudden they get a little bit of energy behind them and momentum. We don't have any momentum with these old guys. We don't. They bring nothing but more negativity and more heartache for the fans that really care.
Luke, and I did say to you, don't swear, but Luke, I mean, where would we be? Why can't, why have we sent out Braybrook? Why isn't he in that squad playing?
He's no good. Braybrook went out to Dundee and couldn't get a game. That was in the Scottish Premier League. Braybrook's not the player that we thought he was going to be. I think that knee was a bit catastrophic for him. I think, to be honest with you, we all talk about this, the formation's not working. We all know that one of the biggest problems has been either side of our fullbacks this season, both Luke Thomas, both Ricky P. I've never seen Ricky P foul so many people ever in his career because he's getting beat so much and he knows it. Scrap playing fullbacks, play a back three, fixed. Buddy Aluko on one side, you've got Lascelles as your organised centre back, and then you've got Ben Nelson on the left-hand side who's already played there, and then have Oliver Skip as the person that advanced. We've seen him drop back in the left back as well. Play him alongside wings, and then you have Mukasa and JJ as your box-crashing midfielders. Pick whoever you want out of our wingers and Daka up top. Bang, fixed. Let's fucking go. But we're probably not going to see that because Gary Rowett has just proved he hasn't got a set of testicles because he put IU up when we're fucking 1-0 down. Thanks so much.
You said Lascelles. What did he do when he came on?
But he had 10 minutes?
Yeah, but he didn't do anything in that 10 minutes. And he might have had the problem because he's used to being the captain, and we had, Captain Fantastic next to him in Ricardo, who doesn't say anything to any players. I just think all these players have got to now be dropped. It is the only way. Publicly drop them. Publicly call them out. There's a lot to be said for managers actually doing that behind the scenes, and I agree with that. But sometimes it's just gone too fucking far. Come on out, Gary Rowett, and don't give us this same bullshit that we've had for the last 2 games. And, oh yeah, you sound okay, but it's still the same bullshit, just a different accent. Come out and say, Fatawu, you were fucking awful. Winks, it wasn't your best game today. Ricardo, donkey. Come out and say it. Embarrass them. Because it's an embarrassment watching them, Luke. And let's get Aluko on. God, I'm even thinking about Chowdhury here. We've got these lone players and we're not putting them on. Where was Aribo today? Oh, we brought on AU. Sorry, I forgot. But having said that, Luke, 4 substitutes. Oh, we had another substitute. Maybe he could have brought on Aluko or Aribo. Who knows? Bring on fucking Vitez and play him up fucking front.
Mate, I think totally, honestly, I completely agree with you. I think that he sharted today, Gary Rowett, and just fucking absolutely flopped. So many players should have been dropped. I agree with all of what you're trying to get across here. I do want to see much more of the youth play because, let's be honest, with the way we're playing and how we're just basically nosediving into League One, these are the players that we're going to be relying upon next season if we're lucky to even hold on to them because they're such wonder kids we're allegedly to be led to believe. So that's why I get so upset when I see IU come off the bench, Chris, because I just think, what's the point? He's not going to be here next season. His contract's up.
Yes. What is the point? He wouldn't mind if he was Superman, but he's not. He's just a big pile of shit. So why are we doing it when he's not going to be here next season? We did the same with, who was the guy from Brighton that we had?
Buonanotte.
Yeah. Why? We brought him on the last day of the season. We brought him on when he was going back and we were already down. Calm down. It's not good for my heart. Keep calm. Tom, they have to be dropped, and they have to be dropped now. If we put the youngsters out and we don't win, fine, we're not going to win under this. But has Rowett now, it has for me, I gave him the first game because he'd only got a couple of days in, but he got a very decent draw. Second game, as you know, at the end I ate humble pie, and because I didn't think it was going to be a good performance. But I've lost it with him already.
Well, this is the sort of football he likes to play. This is a thing, but we've got a group of players who can't put the levels of commitment in that Oxford United can put in, Chris. You think about today, we played Norwich, who are in good form. Fixtures aren't getting any easier. The ones we played the last 2 games were the easier ones, really, from where those clubs are and how we were doing. And we still couldn't get 3 points. And as soon as that challenge gets harder, we completely fold again. It is really frustrating. It's interesting about this Enzo thing, though, because he was apparently in the box from what I'm reading. So he was invited. I mean, if you're Gary Rowett, how would you imagine looking at that, seeing the guy that is kind of the girlfriend Leicester always wanted being up there in the director's box after your second game in? And you kind of go, do you know what I mean? It's a bit bizarre, isn't it, to do that? I know top trust Enzo, but
it during the game, as you know.
Did you?
Yeah, that was when I put that quote out. That he was. Oh, you carry on talking. I'm going to go and let me parcel in.
No worries, mate. You're getting the shit parcels thrown through your door now. No, I'm joking. But it's interesting. One thing I will say about, like, it seems to me that Top really trusts Enzo, and he's like maybe trying to flirt with him a bit. I mean, Rowett's only on a short-term deal to the end of the season, so is there been a bit of a weird play going on that we've seen before at this football club, where Milan Mandaric has had a guy sat in the director's box has upset Nigel Pearson? You know, remember those days? It seems to be quite low-handed, doesn't it? A big point as well today of where we've fallen again is we felt like we had progressed in the past two games at the element of the wingers coming back and helping out for the fullbacks and the central midfield players helping out with the fullbacks as well. Today they were ineffective, all of them. Winks had a pretty bad go of it. Skip wasn't really as committed as he usually would be. And Mavididi and Craftsman, no word, we all know they're going to be up there on the ham sandwich list this week. You know, and as soon as that happens in this group, and it happens so easily under the slightest bit of pressure, we all fall to pieces. So yeah, it's a really eye-opening day today. And like I read something that I think it was Jordan James said, and they were saying, you think you must be joking if Leicester are going to get relegated to League One. This is a team filled with Premier League players. This is that, you know, and the players are all working hard on the scenes. I'm going to ask all those players, and I'm sure they'll see this. Have you looked in the mirror recently at yourselves? Because you seem to want to go out there and make these wild statements that you're only looking up, when actually the trap door you've already halfway slipped into, and you look desperate. Chris?
Oh, wait, if anybody's wondering what I've ordered, it is actually a dildo to go with the other 15 cocks that we saw play today. Come on. Libbo, we've got Ipswich up next. What do you do for that game?
Well, I was reading the comments, and Dorco made a comment about what's the point of having wingers. I kind of agree with that. And then Luke was obviously talking about three at the back. I think at this stage you've got to throw caution to the wind, and I would like to see wing backs. And I mean, what could be worse? It can't get any worse than it is. I mean, Ipswich are going to absolutely annihilate us. When you've got wingers tracking back when they can be bothered, they're clumsy as hell in the tackle. Fatua just looks like he's never tackled anyone in his life. Mavididi looks like that what, you know, that person that you work with that tries to look busy all the time but does jack shit. That's him. He'll kind of like track back when it's too late anyway, and he doesn't have to make the full effort. It just pisses me off, and it's time to change it. He has to change it, and if he doesn't, then he is proving that word that I keep seeing in the comments. The word coward springs to mind.
Wayne, something that Tom said actually when we signed this guy as manager, and again we all thought, yeah, this is the right guy. But Tom was saying, like, well, he can switch, you know, formations, and you know, he can change things around mid-game. I haven't seen any of that.
No, I think it was after the last two performances, it was really disappointing. We looked at half a yard off the pace, apart from the first 20 minutes, that is. And like Tom said, when Norwich sort of stepped it up, and Norwich were very tidy with the ball, actually. They played the ball around super well. But like when you're playing a team and you haven't got enough play, if you don't close them down, anybody, park football can look really good footballers, because if you give people space, they'll pass the ball around you and they'll look really good. And I think what surprised me with Rowett being defensive is the lack of urgency to get the ball back. The press seemed really disorganised. So the organisational thing, on the first 20 minutes, the defence looked organised. I think as the game went on, and the game needs a different thing from just sitting back and being solid at the back. That's why I think the wingers have been ineffective for most of the season. Because your wingers should be getting you 8 to 10 goals every season. They should be tracking back. You know, I do think it is a poorer championship season, but what highlights is the fact that a lot of teams have far better quality wingers than we do. who perform 6 and 7s every single week. They might not do a Fatu Worldly, but over the course of the season, they're far more reliable and they put more effort in.
Isn't that a thing these days? 6-7, 6-7.
It is to you young trendy people, Chris.
Well, that's why I knew it. Maybe you did. No, I know what you're saying. But Jim, I mean, it's, and I've just got the actual man of the match and the performance in from Alan, and I've just written to him, and I think this is true. It's 1 step forward and 2 back these last 3 games.
No, absolutely. And to follow up on what Wayne said, we were talking in the chat during the match. The first 20 minutes, I thought we were very organized. And then, especially against the team that lost a lot of their offensive production. I mean, they had players out. So we stayed back and we just invited whatever they had left after 20 minutes into our end. And then we started fighting off. We never showed anything going forward, nothing the whole game. And to think that we had the opportunity to play some youth this game, to get them on the field to prepare for Ipswich next week. Because you're right, we're going to get battered. And not only that, just say Rowett goes ahead and says, okay, I'm going to listen to everybody. I'm going to pull all the young players out there. Look what they're going into. They're going into that match without time on the field playing together. So no, I think a lot was missed. We really threw away what little we gained the past 2 games with what we saw today.
Just out of interest, after 7 minutes, Ipswich have gone 1-0 up against Swansea City. For fuck's sake. Just a small thing that's where we're going next week. I don't know what you're reading there, Luke. You're having a right old giggle to yourself.
Sorry.
But, where's Steph? Is she there?
No, she's in bed, mate. It's midnight. I'm fucking skating on thin ice down here, lads.
My question on. Let's have a look. I mean, we had more possession, but that means fuck all, as we know. Our XG was 0.46 to their 1.54. But, Luke, this is the one. We did have 10 shots to 12 from Norwich. But only 3 of ours were on target. 8 of theirs were on target.
Thank you. I was waiting for that as well. I found that actually quite frustrating because I genuinely believe, like, first 20, 30 minutes, I wasn't feeling that negative. I thought we were creating chances, but like I said, the end product was far from there, particularly from both of our wingers, unfortunately. But yeah, like you said, Chris, there was only, 3 shots on target? That's not good enough, mate, particularly when we're in this dogfight that we're in the relegation season with the players that we have. It's just really super frustrating. I'm just sick of seeing 45-minute LCFC guys. I don't know how you feel, but last week I was, once again, had my hopes, a little bit back up again. Had a 90-minute performance somewhat, and then we're back to 1/2 Leicester. It's fucking annoying. Excuse my language, sorry.
It is. I don't even think we got that out of them. Tom Fatawu played 90 minutes. He had 4 shots. None of them were on target. His expected assists 0.02. Chances created 0. He's just got to be. I mean, we can't keep picking this guy going, he'll get us a wonder goal. Maybe in time.
Oh, yeah, he's dried up totally. And what makes it worse is he's just got a complete lack of intelligence in the final third now, which at times he seems to get around by having a decent left foot on him on occasions. But he's completely lost that now, yeah, and he started just running into people. Or even worse is when he gets past a man, you think, oh, he's got past a man. That's what we expect of him, right? And then he makes the daftest pass, and you think, what are they doing on the training pitch to the point where they cannot pass the ball to each other in the final third? There is no other team in the Championship, including Sheffield Wednesday, have had a shit of a year, who can't make a final pass in the final third. We are the only ones. I mean, are they that arrogant that they kind of think, oh, we're such good players that, we don't need to work on these things? They need to be handheld, these guys. I told you, not as good as you bloody think you are, mate, because, I I cannot believe some of the complete dead balls I saw him play, and then Mavididi play, and even Winks played some today to spread it amongst the team. It's a big worry for me, this, Chris, and it goes back to that argument again of, look, maybe he is better being an impact sub now. Maybe that is all he's worth, but he's a bloody expensive, off the bench sub, isn't he, really? And this is the problem with his football club.
I'm going to come to your question in a second, Luke. I just want to throw this at Tom. Jordan Ayew, 14 minutes he was on the pitch. No goals, no shots on target, no assists, expected assists 0.00, chances created 0, fouls committed 1, fouls won 0, 2 passes. Total tackles 0. That's what it carried on at the bottom of the page. And believe it or not, tackles. And you know what? He didn't even make a fucking save. I mean, no, but joking aside, that's bloody disgusting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it was a useless substitution. You might as well have just got Daka sent off if that's really what you wanted to do, because there was no one else. And like I say, his positioning this season has been completely suspect whenever he's played in the number 9 position at the top end of the pitch. You know, how the fact he's got the number 9 on his shirt and think he deserved that. Like, I mean, I tell you what, that shows you part of the problem, doesn't it? He's just utterly terrible. And just the fact that he's just so uninvolved. And when he does get involved, it's for selfish reasons, like trying to fall over and win a free kick, which a referee today shows you is not going to work because he's not giving them. And you've still got that daftness and then getting a fuss about it and then drop your heads. I tell you what, if he was in my team and I was one of those footballers, I mean, when you talk about the overall collective, he'd really get me down, because I'd be like, why is he getting opportunities and all he's doing is making us all look fucking terrible?
Yeah. And again, it's a case of, and Mavididi as well, if you get past one player, don't hold on to it, because 2 or 3 other players will come up. Do something with the fucking ball. Like,
they might as well just start shooting it from every time they get past one man, because they can't fucking pass it.
No, that's true.
You'll have him in your side next season, Tom, in your FM manager side. Don't you lie.
Jordan Ayew, I sacked him off very quickly, mate.
He's got FaZe lined up for the defence, mate. Don't knock it, Wayne. Luke has got my hero. Oh, you can't see him on there. My hero phase up there. I was asked that was it somebody said at the start that if we go through the rest of the season unbeaten, would I wear my phase wig? No, I fucking won't. Luke has told me he's got a very good question. Luke, let's hear it, and we'll go around the room.
I am starting to think that maybe this is just one game, but we've seen it before. But I was going to point it out that I don't think Ben Nelson's anywhere as good as everyone makes him out to be. He proper scared me on the ball today. Wayne, if I just heard you correctly earlier, that someone said that you coach a young lad of a team of lads, or you coach a team of football. I'm sure you'd be pulling your hair out.
No, just
Sorry?
The under-21 Seagrave is about a mile from where I live.
Okay,
So
my apologies.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you guys are, with all due respect, a bit older than me. And I'm sure that you guys would hate seeing someone pass in front across the goal like that. That's just schoolboy era shit there. You do not fucking do that. And the pace that he delivers some of these balls terrifies me. I've been paying attention to him the last couple of games. Yes, he's a lot better defender than all the other people we have. But Nelson on the ball, I can see why, to be honest with you, Marty Cifuentes didn't play him. I know that you lose that with pace and it's so much more threatening when we get hit in the break with Vestergaard, but I can see why he got picked over him, because, in my opinion, I know he's only young, and I definitely think there's a player in there, but he's nowhere near as good as people make him out to me, and I do not think he's a Premier League player right now, or going to be honest with you. I think he'll be a top-end championship footballer. I don't think he's good on the ball at all, and I thought he was awful today, to be honest, in moments. He had one good pass just before I pass it on, to be honest, where he released it to Thomas on the left side. I thought it was beautifully weighted. But other than that, there was one moment, did you see at the end of that game, when he passed the ball into open space for them to run onto the ball to no one, a blind pass? I thought he was awful, one of our worst players today, Ben Nelson.
I think as a center back, you're absolutely right. If they can move him outside, get Thomas off the pitch, maybe that's more suited for him. Just in such disarray back there. And I see where you're coming from. Absolutely.
Clibo?
I would slightly disagree. I understand the current situation. Your observation is right, Luke. But I do think, and I have seen, that he is a very talented player. However, he's a young player in a situation that, I mean, he's had unsettled players against him. It's just crap, isn't it? It's not an ideal situation for that kind of position to develop. You know, I think he's second guessing. Instead of playing his natural game, he's having to second guess quite a lot of the time because of how bad the rest of the defence are. But I would definitely say he's up there with the best defender we've got at the club. I just don't think he's being allowed to show it at the moment. And I think with every game that goes past, you know, confidence is being smashed about. In the defence, where we haven't kept a clean sheet for 29 games, you know, they're under a lot more scrutiny than the other parts of the team. I believe that he's going to be a top centre back. I really do. And there are other people in the game that have said that the Oxford fans will tell you that they think he's absolutely grade A.
Wayne?
My bad. Yeah, Rowett loved him. Oxford loved him. I do think he's a John Terry kind of defender, and I think it is true. Like if you play football, you pick sides at a park, and then you start playing, and you get one other person that can play football with you. Then it's a struggle. But if you get 4 or 5, you can build something, pass a move. And I think Nelson has got a bad team around him, as you said, Luca Cole. He's always got he'll at least do 1 or 2 mistakes in a match that will make your heart skip a beat and think, "Holy shit!" And that's who you're playing. That's who you're playing with, and people you're playing a team. It's not a single sport. It's you're playing alongside other people, and I think they can either make you look very good. It's like all of us could play in a Man City team, and they'd make us look absolutely fantastic.
I'm just going to go through some scores for you here.
Big goal just went in.
Ipswich Town 1, Swansea City 0. Coventry City 1, Stoke City 0. Queen's Park Rangers 0, Sheffield United 1. And there has been a goal at the Kazan Stadium. And it is currently Oxford United 1, West Bromwich Albion 0.
We're heading towards second bottom of the league. Come on.
I realise now why I bought these. I bought some elastic bands during the week, and I realise why now. Because you can use them as that, can't you, to stop yourself having bad thoughts. Look, let's round this up, because to be quite honest with you, I'm fucking starving, and I'm also tired as well. It's been a long day, and I'm sure Luke, if we keep him much longer, Steph will be asleep when he gets up there, and he doesn't want that. I've got the performance and the man of the match in. I will kick this off and then we'll go round in it. I have gone for the performance as 2. I was not impressed with that performance at all. And the man of the match, basically just because he was trying, Mukasa again. And I think it's embarrassing that we have to keep picking loan players out to be our man of the match. Clibbo.
Well, you've stolen my thunder, mate, because that's exactly my scores and exactly my man of the match for exactly those reasons.
Honestly, where are we? We've got to get this. I can't. Oh, here we go.
Football friend.
I don't have friends.
That I can believe. Well, I mean, even Reece disowns you.
Yeah, exactly the same as well. I mean, it's quite eerie. This is 2 and Mukasa. He must be thinking, I've just checked, thank God only 13 games to go playing this with this rabble of shit.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that quality having to go, try and play football and look around and think, holy crap.
I wonder if that's why Enzo was there, because, if he is going to go to City or he's going back as a coach, obviously Mukasa is a City player, so, who knows.
And also our regular man of the match was JJ, who was another loan player.
Exactly, yeah, definitely. Jim.
You know what's embarrassing, Chris? Is I agreed with you with a 2 and Mukasa. And that's embarrassing. And I can't change it because Clibbo and Wayne were right. And you happen to be going along.
I happen to be first. Let me just say that, So some of us are leaders, others are followers and sheep. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go any first. All I'm saying.
Pretty evident.
Luke.
I'm going to be a hipster.
Yay!
I think Mikasa kind of dropped off a cliff in that second half for reasons I mentioned earlier. I'm going to have to give it to Winks. I thought if it was just the first half, Mikasa's 100% in the conversation. Winks put on a much better 90-minute performance. I'd give the team a rating of 3 as well. I still thought they were draw, so I don't think they were capitulation 2 levels, but they weren't far off it. So I'm going to give 3 and Winks my man of the match. He was late on the ball, you have to admit.
And then, no, I mean, it's all about opinions. Tom.
They can have a 1 today. I'll be the harsh one. I think after 20 minutes, they were just fucking terrible. It's just, for me, they lose points by the fact they weren't up for the battle, and they need to be up for the battle individually and collectively. Man of the match, I mean, I think actually it was a pretty dogged day for everyone. It's pretty much very hard to pick someone. Actually, the one that might surprise you, I mean, Mikasa's the obvious one, isn't it? Let me go for one that's going to really upset everyone in the chat. I think the person who was least bad today was probably Luke Thomas. Honestly. He wasn't great, but he wasn't as bad as some of the rest of them.
Least bad.
Yeah, I can see your point.
At least he offers something going forward.
Put it up, please.
Get him as a wing back. Play him as a wing back.
Yeah, definitely, Clibbo. Definitely, mate.
Right. Well, I can tell you that Alan's, like I say, sent his through. He was at the match. He gives it, we do see things differently. It's not often I disagree with him, but I am disagreeing with him on this one. He's got the team performance as 4.
Ooh.
No, I don't get that at all. Luke was the nearest with his 3, wasn't he? His man of the match was a Coley. So, I see a few raised eyebrows there.
What?
He has moments, but he still has the bozo gene in him. And I think he's cost us more points than anyone in our complete team in the last 5 matches.
That's satire, surely.
No, just take some of the letters out of it and you'll come up with shit. So it's probably
Yeah.
No, in fairness, look, he does the job. I'm not going to criticise him for having an opinion because that's what we all have. So fair play. Interestingly, on the BBC at the end of every game, they do the report and then they put their people can vote for their own team, I presume, and give them points. The man of the match was Ben Slimani for Norwich City with 8.3. I mean, the top 3 players got 8.3, 8.28, and 8.27. Their lowest score on the day was 7.01. I'll just take it, that's their lowest score. Our highest score, 4.93. And do you know who everybody voted for? Still Archik.
Did make a good save early, to be fair.
Yeah. Winks was
Made a
second.
couple of good saves.
He made 2, yeah.
Over a whole point behind at 3.81. James came in 4th, and how long was he on the pitch for? Then Mukasa, Thomas, and right at the bottom, what can I say? There's only one person could be at the bottom.
I mean,
with a 2.75.
that's generous.
I do love my ham sandwiches, I tell you. Guys, things can only get better, somebody once sang, but unfortunately, I don't think they can. Let's very quickly go around. This is your very last question, and it is a yes or no answer. So you don't have a maybe, you don't have a yes but or no but. It's a yes or no answer. Can we still stay up? Clibbo?
In capital letters, no.
Thank you. Wayne?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
Luke?
No.
Tom?
No.
You know what? I would have put money on the two most positive people in the chat going, yes. Fair play to you guys. I'm sitting on the fence because I'm allowed to because it's my channel. Thank you so much, guys.
Outrageous.
Luke, thank you very much for coming in all the way from Australia. You go and keep your beautiful wife ready. And indeed, yes, indeed, if you can come up with 3 things that we've learned today, other than the fact that we're shit, you go for it.
Got him. First of all, this outcome was a real test of what positivity we had left. Tom's best comment was it was just a bunch of knobheads out on the pitch. Secondly, Chris,
He was losing it towards the end, wasn't he?
yeah. Secondly, Chris, we're stuck with you wearing your Lanzarote jersey and non-Leicester shirt for a while longer. I know you said until we win.
Yeah,
no
but it's
Leicester
not a
shirt.
Lanzarote. It's a monkey, radio monkey.
Well, this just in podcast land, Chris has volunteered to shave his pubes to help LTID ratings because Chris thought that the ratings would help. That's what would. And then last of all, in all sincerity, it's great to see that true Leicester fans from Australia through England all the way to the US. So we're here because we love the club. So let's just hang in there, guys. That's it.
I know. This is like Donald Trump's border peace, isn't it? Luke, thanks very much, mate. You're always welcome back on the channel. Jim, thanks, and I nearly forgot your 3 big takeaways. I do apologise. Tom, great commentary as always. Jim, I said Jim. Clibbo, God knows what you're wearing, but thanks for popping in. And Wayne, all I can say, Wayne, is thanks for keeping your legs covered. Thanks to everybody that's been in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Remember, subscribe, like, click that notification bell, and if you're on your mobile phone, hype it as well. If you've come over today because and I know some of the other channels haven't been following this today, it's been great having you on. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate that. Why not subscribe, stay with us, or alternate between the two? We're all good channels here. We should all support all the Leicester City channels. Guys, thank you very much. Go and have the rest of the evening off. I'm going to go and have a few more ciders, and I will see you all. Yeah, there's no Football Manager tomorrow, so I will see you all on Monday for the review show. That's going to be fun. Good night.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.